Well, hey guys, welcome to episode 4
Of our drunken history.
Of our drunken history. Yeah. Hope you are enjoying this series so far. We are still working some things out, but I think we're getting better.
Yeah.
Last week we ran into some technical difficulties.
Oh yeah, our battery went dead, and we didn't even get a chance to do our normal sign off at the end. I think we was in the middle of it. We kept getting sidetracked.
We were drunk.
Oh man,
That wine will get you every time.
It took me 2 days to recover from that. It was.
Yeah, it was rough.
But maybe we did Andre the Giant proud. I don't think we.
Yeah, we didn't piss him off. I think he would have given us the old high five.
Yeah. That was
anyway, this week we are going to do a salute to an American pastime that is like no other: hunting. We're both hunters. Travis is from here in Arkansas. I'm from Montana. We both come from big hunting families. Just love it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, I remember all the way as far back as I can remember as a child, going hunting, going to deer camp in the fall, going fishing in the summer, just outdoors type family, did camping and hunting and fishing.
What's the first thing you ever hunted?
Successfully.
Successfully.
Squirrel was the first. And
did you eat squirrel?
Yeah.
I've never eaten.
We're good. We'll have to go squirrel hunting, and
I've never done it.
Yeah.
No one in Montana hunts squirrel. That's like the smallest thing we hunt is like a turkey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I didn't know that squirrel hunting was a thing until I got out to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And we had a
some people take it serious too.
We had a pro super. He had a rifle scabbard on his mower.
Oh.
Yeah. And then he had a cooler that he bungee corded to the mower, and he would ride around on that mower on his property and get drunk and shoot squirrels. And I was like, it's
amazing.
Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Yeah.
Yeah, some old squirrel and dumpling.
Which is not guns and alcohol don't mix, guys. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't do that one.
That's one thing I forgot to look up this week, because there's always a story every hunting season. And for some reason, it's always like in Minnesota or Michigan. Somebody gets shot, and usually there's alcohol involved, but they always say, "Oh, it's mistaken identity." But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, Yoopers and the Trolls up there in Michigan, they're probably shooting at each other.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, the alcohol and guns don't mix. Save the drinking for that night around the campfire if you're hunting.
Yeah.
Don't need to be drinking while hunting.
Agreed.
We never did that. That's one thing I definitely learned was proper, safe procedures.
Yeah. Anybody who is not a piece of shit is gonna be careful out there.
Yeah. But yeah,
my dad don't really drink, so I didn't, and that's who always took me hunting.
Yeah.
So we just never. It wasn't even a thought.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, my first big game was a squirrel. I was 5 years old. Shot my first squirrel, and my dad had got me that prior year. Like for Christmas, kids get guns when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And my dad got me this really nice air rifle, and it was I don't even know if they still make them anymore. Benjamin Sheridan air rifle, and that thing was.
I know Benjamin is still around.
And it was a hunting air rifle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
my dad got me a Gammo since I've been here, and the one day, me and Huck were out here. Huck is my I have a German wire hair pointer hunting dog who is just a fucking warrior in the duck blind. But I was out here, and it was during the season. But there was a dove up there on the telephone pole.
Nice.
And I got that Gammo out, and I popped that dove at 120 yards. And it took me like 4 shots.
Yeah.
To get it. But I pelted it, and Huck was out there in the corral, and I shot that dove, and it hit the ground, and he went into a point right away. And I was like, "Get the bird!" Get him! And he would run. I'm like, "This is great! Like, we're doing this at home now."
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Dogs are great too. If you guys ever get the chance to hunt with a good hunting dog, it is it's a game changer.
Oh, they're fun to watch. Fun to watch them work. I've got labs that I duck hunt with, and then I'd like to get them into some bird like a dove hunting. There's some
Yeah,
people,
man. I never hunted dove like as a general rule. I've shot dove, but I've
Yeah.
never intended to go dove hunting.
Yeah,
We I grew up doing pheasant. I grew up doing partridge,
Yeah.
grouse, but I never did duck until I moved down here to Arkansas. Arkansas is duck hunting capital of the world.
Oh yeah, lots of duck. Well, a lot of people do the dove hunting as a tune-up for
Yeah,
waterfowl.
yeah.
So.
I know some people who do it. It's just never appealed to me. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and some people don't like dove. I like them. There's certain ways you can cook them. They're a dark meat. They're a little bit more gamey.
You
like,
do the bacon wrap on them.
I'll do a bacon wrap with cream cheese and
I
jalapeno.
always heard that was great. I've never had it.
Oh yeah. Well, and we've done them too. Is like slow cook them, and with like a country gravy and put them on a biscuit gravy, dove gravy and biscuits, and squirrel gravy and biscuits. I mean, you can't go wrong with gravy and biscuits.
That's true.
But yeah,
Man,
slow cook, make them tender.
I'm used to like elk.
Oh.
No, I never did the duck hunting thing till I got here, and I would duck hunt even without Huck,
Yeah.
but he's my main reason for going. now.
Yeah.
So I would probably go 3 or 4 times a year if I didn't have him with me.
Oh yeah. It's so
But,
much more work if you don't have a good dog.
It is, and I went a couple times without him when he was still real young, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I trained him all myself. I just YouTube videos and books, and I don't know if it's his bloodlines or my teaching, but he turned into a hell of a good dog.
Well, some dogs, like you say, the bloodline, they have an instinct. I've got a male lab and my female. He's a chocolate, and then my female blonde. They're both came from hunting dog lineages, but my chocolate male, he could care less. He has no drive. He's just a big pet. But my blonde female,
She's in it to win, huh?
has a motor that won't quit. She will hunt all day. She'll retrieve all day.
That's May. So I have 2 German Wirehairs, by the way, but May, she was all about it, and then my mom had all her stuff happen, and I it was my own fault. I quit training her,
Yeah.
and I took about 6 months off of the training thing, and by the time that I tried to pick it up again, she was scared of the gun, and
Well, so that's what I did with mine. I started shooting a 22 around them that wasn't very loud and stuff, and got
well,
used to it.
I don't even think that would work with her, man.
yeah.
She just runs and hides under the bed.
Oh.
But she's my pet. She's my baby girl.
Oh, yeah.
And I really, because the drive is there, the prey drive is there, and her nose is just incredible. I really thought about doing search and rescue with her, but I've learned that German wirehairs are not really like good people dogs. Like they have their people, and they don't really like anybody else.
Yeah.
So I don't, and maybe some are different, but mine don't like anybody.
Oh yeah, you kind of want that though. For me personally, because with labs, they're like the worst ones to do that.
Because everybody's their best friend.
Yeah, the every new person is their best buddy, but so you can't rely on them to be a guard dog.
No,
But
if someone came into my house,
yeah,
I'm sorry for their luck. Like they fucked up because, man, Huck is.
oh yeah,
He's like, there's no doubt in my mind he would defend his home, and he's 100 pounds of just pissed off hunting dog, and he is, to look at him, because they're not like an intimidating looking breed. They're not like a pit bull looking breed or like a Malinois or something. He is tougher than shit.
oh yeah.
He is, and I was thinking about that.
Most hunting dogs are though too.
They all they do is work out.
Yeah.
All he does is run, or swim,
yeah,
or whatever, and he's 100 pounds of like pure muscle and ears and nose, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because you got to think, it's even like people that coon hunt raccoons or even the squirrel dogs and stuff that
those little, what are they called? Jag Terriers is what I think.
Jack Russell Terriers. They use those.
Well, they got the other ones. They're a little wire hair looking.
Yeah. I think that's another type of terrier. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, they're a little badass though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have that small dog syndrome. They never met another dog they don't want to fight.
Yeah.
But they have the big like Treeing walkers or coon hounds that they're a big dog. They're about the size of a German wirehair, but raccoons get big, like a big male raccoon.
They're nasty, man.
And they are mean. But yeah, you shoot a injured coon out of a tree, and a dog jumps on him. They get into fights, and I've known guys that's giving their dog stitches when they got home from a hunt because they're getting into a fight with some sort of animal.
Yeah,
they're pretty tough.
Well, there's a debate. I will say, I won't say an argument, but a debate over whether German wirehairs are the same breed as Deutsche Drahthaars, which Deutsche Drahthaar translates to German wirehair. But there's DD guys, they're their own breed, and German wirehair people are more. Yeah, they're all the same dog, it basically depends on who you ask. And DNA wise, I don't think there's a difference, but the quality of the bloodlines, the DDs have I would say a more dedicated group of people that really do
stewards of the
man, they're anal about their dogs, and more power to them if that's their passion. Good for them. But to be like a certified whatever DD, they get like ear tattoos, like they're hardcore. But the testing that they have to do is wild. And there's NAVDA, North American Versatile Hunting Dog Association, and both Huck and May are both NAVDA, and AKC of course. But the DDs have their own. I don't know if it's a registry or what to call it, but they have their own thing, and it's I think there's 12 breeds that make up the North American Versatile Hunting Dogs.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't remember all of them. There's Shorties, Wirehairs, Wirehair Pointed Griffons, I think Weimaraners, Brittany's. Yeah. Vizslas are in there. There's and I'm I apologize if I'm not getting them all, but you get what I'm getting at. But then the DDs have their own thing, and so NAVDA testing, it's good. It's very good. It's thorough. The dogs are to be a NAVDA competitor dog, like you're a rock star. Like in the hunting blind, like people are going to be impressed. Yeah. But if you get a draught, man, they're like in a class all their own. To be a competitive DD, like they have to test. I think it's like every 2 years they have to go through their testing to maintain their certification. They have to. Oh God, I don't remember all it is. It's like they have to follow a blood trail so long. They have to do so many water retrieves, so many blind retrieves.
It's like doing a AFPT.
Yeah. But they can excel at any other dog's job better than that dog. Wow. And they're just their own thing. They're just a monster.
Machines.
They're expensive as shit.
Oh, I bet.
But if you I mean, more power to the people who want to do that. That's not me. Huck he's my best buddy. He's my pet. He sleeps in my bed. And when we duck hunt, if I fuck up because I'm screwing around with him and the duck flies off, I really don't care. I'm just there. Yeah. I'm there to get food, but I'm there to have fun with my dog. I'm not that serious about it. And I don't ever want to get to that point. I'm going out for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah, there's some people that do take it to an extreme that I guess you can do that with anything though, really. But
I'm out of beer here. I need a refill.
Excuse
me, guys. I got to stand up for a second here. I'm drinking leftover Bitburger from our story a couple weeks ago. I figure it makes sense since we got the German beer and the German dog we're talking about. Have you always had labs? Are those your go-to?
Yeah, Not I haven't always, but one of my first really good dogs that I had as a kid was a lab, and but they're just good. I don't know. I'm a fan because they're just like a really good all around. I got kids now, so they're a really good family dog.
Yeah, they really are.
My 1-year-old son, he just climbs all over them, plays with them. The other day, one of them was playing with a ball, and he likes to get a tennis ball and throw it to the dogs. Dog had the tennis ball in his mouth, chewing on it. My son goes over there, 1 year old, grabs the dog by the nose, and like runs his hand all the way in there in his mouth, and, like pulling the mouth open. The dog just laying there taking it, and
it's a good dog, man.
Oh yeah, he likes to share his crackers. He'll go up and feed the dog a cracker.
Yeah.
Or let the dog take a nibble, and then he'll try to take
That's why the dog likes the kid.
Oh, yeah. So they're great family dogs. And then you get to hunt with them, too. So.
Yeah, man. I don't know that... wire hairs aren't quite as friendly as labs.
Yeah.
But if they are raised around their kids, I guess...
Yeah.
And we don't have kids, but we'll find out here. Hopefully in a couple of weeks.
Yes, if we can.
My fiance gets home from her deployment in 2 days, and very excited.
Yeah, be doing the see if you can get the family started.
I'll tell you what, it won't be lack of effort.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
So
no, I had Huck is my first hunting breed.
Yeah.
I guess I had a yellow lab blue heeler mix out in North Carolina, just a pet. I had a boxer. I had a Belgian Malinois. And they're super high energy dogs. Those are really, mouths are nuts.
Yeah. Some of those dogs that have that energy like that, if you don't work them, they can be like have behavioral issues and stuff. If they're
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, I got lucky with those dogs. They were great dogs. They had great personalities. But I mean, there was a lot of running and going to the park, and because we were in Vegas, we didn't have like a Vegas yard. Is all we had was the little
size of a
fucking solitary confinement cell.
Yeah.
But no, we had a dog park right down the road, so we would go. We go at night because you can't walk them during the day. The fucking ground's too hot.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of wearing them out. Tired dogs are good dogs. But I did not realize what I was getting into when I got a wire hair.
Oh yeah.
And it's they're just keyed up. They are so high energy. I was blown away at how much more active Huck is really calmed down as he's gotten older. He was a wild puppy.
Oh yeah.
But he's going to be 6. What is today? The
14th.
15th? No, it's Huck's birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Huck. Yeah, he's 6 years old today.
Nice.
But he's really calmed down a lot. He's turned into a dog.
Yeah.
Instead of a puppy. May is still just like a puppy, and she'll be 5 here in a few months.
Yeah.
And she can go, and Huck can too. He's just not near as keyed up. May is nonstop.
I had one of the dogs I had, but she wasn't good for anything other than a house dog. It was a miniature pinscher. Have you ever been around a miniature pinscher?
Yeah, I mean a couple times. I haven't spent
that dog
significant amount of time around him.
You talk about going through the puppy phase or the energy and being tuned up all the time. That dog was like 12 years old before he finally slowed down to where he wasn't just a total.
Jesus.
Anytime you got a knock at the door, a doorbell rang.
Was he yappy?
Somebody moved suddenly, just getting up off the couch too quick. Like he would go nuts, barking, running in circles.
I couldn't do that.
Oh man.
Keisha had a Shih Tzu whenever we started dating, and I've never been a small dog person. Like I've never owned small dogs.
Yeah.
And Ace, he's old. He's not just blind. He don't have any eyes. They're surgically removed. That dog is the coolest little dog on the planet. Like he's a happy little mop.
Yeah, some of them it just depends on the dog. Like that one that I had, he got on my nerves so many times. But then they're family though. I'm not one of those type of people that. You know, there's some people that'll get annoyed with a dog or get annoyed with a pet,
Yeah,
and they go
get rid of it.
get rid of it. Nah,
Yeah,
we had him for 17 years.
He's hearing this keep. Dude, we got 6 dogs. I mean,
Oh yeah,
and we got one, Taco,
yeah.
that is just dumb as shit. And I won't say he's aggressive, but he does not like strangers, as you found.
Oh yeah, I've got a scar on my knuckle from him.
He nipped old Trav one night.
But
he's just.
yeah. They're
We didn't get him on purpose. My neighbor brought him over. He ended up in my neighbor's garage. Nobody knew how he got there.
Yeah. But, you know, the thing is, though, too, with a dog like that, if he has taken up with you and bonded with you, he'd probably protect you, though, too, because if he came in from the streets or the wild, basically, and then you've given him a good home, he'll probably defend you to the death.
And he's 80-pound pit.
Yeah.
You know, another one I wouldn't want to come in the window.
Yeah.
Bro, you made a poor choice.
Coming through the window, I saw this article. I think it was a German Shepherd. But this family comes home after going out to dinner or something one night, and their German Shepherd is sitting there waiting on them, covered in blood. And they're like, what? So they rushed over to start checking the dog, looking for injuries, what happened. And they go in the bedroom, and the window is open, or like it had been broken. And
someone tried to come in.
Somebody tried to come in, and that dog tore. There was blood everywhere, and all around the window, and like handprints and stuff.
Lesson learned.
So they called the cops, and they went to like the local ER and found a guy that had cuts and bites all over him. Arms were all tore up.
I bet he was just fucking hating. Like, dog bites fucking hurt.
Yeah. So,
I had Attila, and he was a boxer. And when I lived in Vegas, I had 3 roommates, and they didn't really like dogs. They weren't really dog people. I mean, they were nice to him, but they weren't like buddy, you know.
Yeah.
So when I was at work, for the most part, they put him in my room, and they would take him out to go to the bathroom and stuff, but then they would put him back in my room.
Yeah.
Well, I got home one night, and I got home at late. I got off at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, I was working swing shift and got off at 2 a.m. and got home, and you know how your house is. Like, you know your way around your house in the dark. So I didn't turn any lights on. I just walked in and I went up the stairs, and Attila was like, his hackles were up and he was growling, and I was like, what is going on? Because this is not him. He was the nicest dog.
Yeah.
But he went running right down the stairs and went running out the open back door and went running out the open gate. And then I turned all the lights on, and all of my roommates' shit had been stolen.
Oh, wow.
And whoever did it had opened up the unlocked back window and climbed in and took like a drum set and a couple Xboxes and like a fucking, a desktop computer when they were the thing. You know?
Yeah.
They got a bunch of expensive shit. And it was all because those people my roommates at the time did not want my dog out.
Yeah. So he was kind of locked up in the room.
Yeah, none of my shit was taken. They weren't coming in that room.
No. Wow. So that's the thing too. Like, dogs can be a deterrent just by them being there. They don't even have to do anything. But
yeah, even a little dog. Like, no, if you have a house with a little dog barking in it.
Yeah.
And even if you know you're not going to get bit, just the sound, the alerting, the people are going to be like, "Why is that dog going crazy?"
Yeah. Or that dog barking who wakes up the owners or alerts somebody. Just the dog being there can be a deterrent.
Yeah, I got one in each room.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't drive in my driveway. I got 5 dogs now. So,
did you keep any of the puppies?
No, I've got one black lab puppy. I actually just took her and I had her spayed because her daddy's on the premises. So.
Yeah. But dogs don't care about that, guys.
No, but yeah, yeah. You pull up. My front gate is a quarter mile from my house, but you pull up at the gate and the dogs are barking and go. You can't get anywhere close to my house without somebody alerting.
I wish we had a little more property because just when someone goes down my street here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the people across the street, they move they not the ones directly across, but the ones behind them have those longhorns. Have you seen those?
mm-hmm.
Have you seen that bull?
I haven't seen the bull. No.
Jesus, fuck, he's big. It's not like he's the biggest longhorn I've seen in my life.
Oh wow.
Hey, and his horns, they don't go out, man. They're weird. They come down and hook.
Oh, that's cool.
He is badass, dude, and he's got to be over 2,000 pounds.
Man, that's a big longhorn
tank. But it's funny, man. Huck, because I let my dogs run here.
Yeah.
They're smart enough to know where my property ends at this point. But I'll open that front door, and Huck will walk right up to the end of the sidewalk and sit down. And him and that bull, they just look at each other. And I think they're both like, you and me, buddy. We're the alphas.
You over there, me over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're funny, man. They stare each other down and then they go about their way.
I saw this guy. He had a longhorn bull. He had a sucker broke to ride. He had a saddle on it and ride it like a horse.
I've seen that, like in parades and shit.
Yeah.
Smaller towns.
Had like he barely, you know how big a normal like stock trailer is, about 7 feet wide.
Yeah.
The bull would have to turn his head kind of sideways to fit into the trailer because his horns were as wide as the trailer were.
Jeez. That is fucking wild, man.
Yeah.
I went to Keisha and I went to a longhorn auction one time, and it was like, there's money and then there's fuck you money.
Yeah.
These people were throwing around like way over $100,000 on one steer.
That's crazy.
It was wild. I mean, we were definitely not in the right crowd, and we just kind of showed up.
Yeah.
And I think everybody just assumed that we belonged because, like,
fake it till you make it.
Yeah, man. We ate at their buffet, and it was like,
oh heck yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna buy that one.
Yeah, we're eyeballing a few of these out
here.
Yeah,
we're holding off till the right one comes across here.
Yeah.
Before we bid. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah. The first thing I ever hunted in my life, successfully, was a pronghorn.
Okay.
And the year before, my dad and I were. He got me my 243 for Christmas when I was 10, and it wasn't the first gun I shot, but it was my first gun.
Yeah. I
never had a 22 until after I got out of the Air Force.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The first gun I ever shot in my life was a 30-06.
Oh, wow.
And I think I was like 6 years old. And then my dad, we jumped him in the back. My dad had a 79 Ford F100. And we jumped up in the back of that thing, and he was like, all right, man. And I shot it. And
nice.
So, like, after that, like, nothing kicked.
Yeah.
But he got me that 243 and went sighted in and went out. In Montana, you got to be 11 to hunt. I don't know if it's still that rule, but it was. And there was a muley buck, and man, I had it in the crosshairs, and I started crying. I couldn't do it. A little kid.
Yeah.
So it walked, and the next year was when I was ready.
Yeah.
And the first time I shot, I missed, and I had a little bar. They fucking took off, and they ran over. We were on my dad's friend's brother-in-law's place, and we were. I shot, I missed, and ran across. They went under the fence.
Yeah.
And got over to the neighbor's place, and we went and knocked on his door, and he said, yeah, you guys can go ahead and hunt my property. So we went out, and my dad stopped at 250 yards, and I got out and I shot that herd buck.
Nice.
And dropped him, and I'll never forget that. He was dead before he hit the ground. It was...
That's great, pulling a shot like that at that age. I mean,
it was cool, man. It was nice. But that's the thing about out west. Your shots are typically longer.
Yeah.
And I always, I've gotten into the archery thing here in Arkansas. I never archery hunted in Montana.
Yeah.
I never did in Nevada. I've gotten big time into it out here, I would say.
Yeah.
I love it. Archery it's my favorite way to hunt out here. But you talk about the skill set between bow and rifle, and I will say that with a bow, you have to be more stealthy.
Yeah, you got to be more
But
stealthy, more controlled in your movements, pay more attention to your scent,
Yeah.
your noise, because you got to get such closer range.
but I will say that there is a skill set to rifle hunting that archery just can't top. When you're taking 350, 400 yard shots.
Yeah,
I don't I don't care if you stink, whatever. That's not part of it.
yeah,
But judging your wind speed and put those bigger picture things come into
Yeah.
play. And I've had that conversation with people, and they say, "Oh man, archery is so much tougher than rifle." I can't say that. It's just different.
it's a different type of tough. Like it's just different. It's hard to compare the two because, like you said, the skill set is different with.
Yeah. Best shot I ever made in my life. My dad and I went out and we were elk hunting. I had drawn a permit up there for bull, and we were. It feels like we were really far back in. We probably were maybe like 3.5, 4 miles off the road, but it seemed a lot further because of the conditions.
Yeah.
It was like really blizzarding, but it wasn't cold enough for it to stick. So the ground was just mud, shit, gumbo, and it was that kind of real clingy mud
Yeah.
where each step your sole of your boot would grow by an inch.
Oh yeah, you just kept getting heavier and heavier.
Man, and so I had my 338 Win Mag, which I would typically not shoot a deer with. You can. It's just I have the 243 for deer, but I had that 338 Win Mag, which is a lot of fucking gun.
Yeah.
But we came up over this hilltop, and there was 4 muleys, 4 bucks, and my dad ranged them, and it was like 300 on the dot. So I threw my backpack down, and they took off running. And I slid up into that backpack, and my dad was like, "Are you going to shoot?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360." And I pulled the trigger right at 360. And double lung that first buck.
Wow.
And he made it about 25, 30 yards. And we ranged where I hit at 364 yards.
Nice.
Is where I hit him. And on the run.
Oh heck yeah.
In front of my dad. And my dad goes, "Holy shit." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I can't believe you took that shot." I said, "Me neither." And he goes, "Fuck, I can't believe you hit him." I said, "Yeah, me either." And he goes, "You couldn't do it again." And I said, "I don't have to."
I did it. That's it.
So we went and we boned it out right there, and I put that pack on and carried it out. And muleys up north are
they're big.
They're big bodied.
Yeah.
Whitetails up north are too.
Yeah.
People always think the whitetails and muleys are like a big size difference. They're really not. It's just geographically, deer up north tend to be bigger because they have to deal with the harsher winter.
Yeah. You look at some of the Iowa whitetails and the
Saskatchewan.
They get
shit!
huge
You want to
up
see
there.
a big whitetail
Yeah.
deer from Saskatchewan? But we boned that deer out, and between the meat and the head, and my dad carried my gun, I carried the meat, and I took the head, and we were walking out, and I was fucking dying, dude. I'm just sweating bullets, and it's like 30 degrees probably, and I'm just, the mud is on my boots, and it was rough, and we weren't like, we were in the Bull Mountains, which isn't like the Rockies. It's like a satellite range, and they're not super high in elevation, but it's like, it's some rough country. It really is. It's a lot of up and down, and we got about halfway out. My dad said, "Hey man, I'm going to stop and rest," and I said, I can't. And
Yeah,
he was like,
if you stop, you're
he
probably
said,
not
you're gonna do the whole thing in one push. And I said, if I take this pack off, I'm not putting it back on. And so I just kept plugging, and he took a break, and I beat him to the truck by about 10 minutes. And I took that pack off, and I was toast.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
He drove home, and we got to his house, and we weighed that pack, and it was 83 pounds.
Wow.
And I was fucking dying. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Those army guys that you see overseas with all their shit, my heart goes out to those guys.
Oh, yeah, when they're out there rucking, yeah.
Brutal. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I couldn't do it intentionally.
Man.
Hunting's a different story. Then it's a different set of rules. But just a pleasure pack, no, not my thing.
There's some people that will do that for fun. Like, I'll do it to go hunting. Yeah, but there's some people that go backpacking in the mountains, just go backpacking, like, and they carry all that. Like, what?
See, I enjoy backpacking. I do.
Yeah.
You know, I went in August. I went up and we did like 36 miles in 3 days.
Yeah.
But I have to be able to fish. Like, I can't just backpack to take pictures. I have to have, like...
Exactly. I would do it to go fishing, or I would do it to go hunting.
Yeah.
But
and that's what I went and fly fished, and I didn't catch a goddamn thing. But I went, I put the miles on.
Yeah.
May went with me on that trip, man. And that little girl, her little paw pads were all tore up, man. I had to, put that glue shit on them, and that Musher's Pal, I think is what it's called.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like a coating that they,
Yeah, it's a wax. It smells great. But yeah, man, that stuff it's like bag balm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But for dog feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the tenacity and that little adrenaline wire, man. She climbed up an avalanche, the scree pile.
Yeah.
She climbed up all that shit on her own. I was like, no, get your ass back down here. Yeah. One of the things I wanted to point out is, and we haven't drank this yet. We just pulled the top off. This is Meat Eater whiskey, and I don't know how many of you are hunters. I hope all of you. But this is Steve Rinella. It's his whiskey. And I think that at this point in time where we're at today, that Steve Rinella, probably not the best hunter in the world, but the most important.
Yeah, he's brought a lot of publicity to conservatorship, to the hunting community, and to
with
show
the positive sides. He does it all the right way.
Yeah,
the guy is just a phenomenal human being.
And if you go check out their website, I think it's meateater.com, I think.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm a foodie. I love to eat, and they have a whole section of their website is all recipes. If you like to cook,
that guy's a hell of a cook. From what I can tell, I'd like to have dinner with him.
Oh yeah, it'd be great because I mean, some of the I'd like to try a lot of the recipes they've had.
I have, man. I've done a few of his recipes here at the house.
Yeah,
haven't had one go bad.
That's good. And so here's the thing with hunting, and then there's some people out there that think hunting is bad or think that we shouldn't be killing an animal or whatever. But in our society now, some of the new big things that they try to say for your healthy diet is that grass-fed organic beef is one of the new healthy things to eat. But you look at it,
which is great, but nothing is healthier than wild game.
Well, you think of a wild game, it's free range. It's lived its whole life free to range wherever it wants. It's organic fed because it's only eating what grows in the wild.
Yeah, no one's going out there and
feeding it antibiotic free because it's never had a medication in its life.
No preservatives in the meat. No steroids to make them bigger.
Exactly.
You look at a chicken breast in Europe versus a chicken breast in the States, and it's like 4 times the size over here. That's not because we have big chickens. That's because we're steroiding the shit out of our birds.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like,
well, we do have big chickens, but it's because we're pumping them full of shit to make them big so companies can make a profit.
Yeah. So wild game is the best organic, free range, antibiotic free, steroid free meat you can get.
And people talk about killing as like this bad thing. I hate to burst your bubble, but wild animals don't die of old age. It doesn't happen.
No.
they die, they get killed by a predator or a disease, or they don't have a peaceful way to slip off into
Yeah,
the
exactly.
sunset, man. The most humane way for them to die is by a well-placed shot. And
Really.
it just
And
is.
that's kind of that's the blunt truth of it. It really is though, because yeah, a deer isn't gonna die of old age. They're gonna, like a wolf or a coyote or a mountain lion
Mountain
is gonna
lion,
jump out of a
whatever.
tree and bite it on the neck.
Yeah.
And
And that's nature, and I understand that happens.
yeah,
But I also am of the opinion that we are part of nature. And
yeah,
granted, we're technologically a little more advanced than a bear
yeah,
or whatever, but they're more physically
yeah,
evolved than we are. I look at it as it's our rung on the ladder.
yeah,
We're not the masters of everything. We're just a piece of it.
yeah.
We're part of the pie, and
That's the thing. Here's the thing: if you go into the woods, or if you go into the water, if you go, say you go swimming in the ocean,
you're part of the food chain.
you are part of the food chain,
People
whether you
who
want to admit it or not.
people who get bit by sharks in the ocean, like, I feel bad for them to a
Yeah,
point, but at the same time, like, you knew that sharks were there.
yeah,
If you go up into the Rocky Mountains in Montana and a grizzly bear attacks you,
yeah,
I'm not going to say you shouldn't have been there, but you should know the risks before you go.
yeah,
Like, that's and the the vast majority of attack victims don't really hold anything against the animal that went after them. It's just an animal being an animal.
yeah, yeah. And it's you're part of the ecosystem at that point,
Yeah.
and a lot of the attacks maybe could be prevented, but some of them can't. It's just,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things that people kind of forget that we're animals too, and just happens we may be more advanced in some ways, but physically I wouldn't ever want to go up against any kind of predator because
No.
when it comes to
I
predators,
don't
we're
even
kind
want to go
of
against
weak.
a German Shepherd through a window.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
Have you ever run into a bear?
no, I've ran into some wild hogs before.
Yeah, I had my first run in this past duck season.
Oh, nice. But no, never a bear in the wild. And there's bears all over Arkansas, but
I've never seen a bear here, but back home I've run into more than my fair share.
yeah,
I've run into I think 4 black bears and 3 grizzlies.
yeah. The grizzlies would be it would be one of those experiences that would be really awesome, but then terrifying at the same time.
So, my encounters, the scariest one was the black bear.
Yeah,
So, and I don't know how much truth there is to this. I'm sure that there's a lot, but they say that if a grizzly attacks you, it's defensive in nature. Most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always going to get the oddball, but it's defensive in nature, and once you're no longer a threat, they're going to leave you alone. So
Yeah.
they're probably going to rip your butt cheek off, maybe fuck up your ribs,
yeah,
but you're actually probably going to survive. No, not 100% of the time. As I know, a guy just lost his life up in Montana a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
He was a shed hunter. Last year, a couple people were killed by grizzlies. But for the most part, a grizzly attack, they're going to stop once you are no longer a threat.
yeah. They tell you to lay down and cover your
Cover
head.
your vitals and hope for the best.
Yeah,
But a black bear, grizzlies aren't really scared of people.
no,
Black bears are. They have a natural defense of people. So if one attacks you, either A, it's starving to death and it
yeah,
needs to eat, or it's fucked up in the head.
yeah,
And it's either way, they're going to kill you. So a black bear attack, although is a not as harsh of an animal as a grizz,
yeah,
they're going to kill you. If you lay down and play dead, it's just they're going to kill you faster.
yeah,
So if a black bear attacks you, you fight with everything you got. You bite, kick, scream in their ear, whatever you got to do, man.
Pull Mike Tyson and bite him on the
That's
ear.
right. Yeah. You fight back until you prove to them that whatever you have to offer is not worth what they're going to lose.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, my dad and I. Most of my outdoor stories are with my dad. But we were up in this area called the West Boulder Meadows up there, and we were hiking out, and we were not really far from the trailhead. We had camped for a couple days, had a just monster bull moose like 10 feet outside our tent the one morning when we woke up.
Yeah.
Which are dangerous as shit in their own right.
Oh, yeah.
But
there's more people killed by moose every year than bears.
Yeah, definitely.
Up in Alaska and up in Canada and all that.
But yeah, we were about probably a quarter mile from the trailhead on the way out, and there was this black bear on the trail. And usually they'll just run off.
Yeah.
But this one didn't. Like, I won't say he was aggressive, but he definitely wasn't scared. And we had like an hour-long standoff with this bear. And we were, I'd say at first, because, the trail is not straight. It's winding.
Yeah.
And we had come around the corner, and my dad was probably 10 yards ahead of me when we were walking. And I come around the corner, my dad's like, stop. Just stop. And he's like, and I'm like, what? Like, and he's like, look. And I'm like 8.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
I was a little kid. And my dad's like, look. And I'm looking. I'm like, oh, shit. It's a fucking bear.
Yeah.
And that bear was locked on us. Like, it was like sizing us up. And so we backed away. We did everything you're supposed to. We're yelling at it. We're not aggressively yelling, just letting it know that we're there, that we know it's there. And we backed up, but we didn't want to get out of sight of it.
Yeah.
So we backed up. I don't know how many yards away we got, But we got far enough away to where we felt semi-safe. And my dad is like, I need you to go and get a stick about the size of a baseball bat. Because my dad never carried pistols. And this is like, I won't say it's pre-bear spray, but it's pre like mass bear spray. Now you can go buy it anywhere, but this is like, maybe you could get it at like specialty camping stores, but like nobody carried it.
Wasn't as available.
Yeah, like it was, you just never even heard about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like Fish and Game probably had it, but most campers did.
Yeah.
But so I did. I went not far, and I got him a tree branch about the size of a Louisville Slugger. And I'm like, my dad's going to fight a bear.
This is going to be awesome.
And we had like an hour-long standoff with this bear before it finally moseyed off. And
finally lost interest in you guys.
Yeah, but it didn't like run off or anything, man. It took its time.
You just got bored and left.
And that is the only time I can say that I've been like rattled. I ran into... I was backpacking. I won't say backpacking because I know you don't like it. No, I was going through Yellowstone, and I came up over a hilltop, and I bumped a grizz, a big boar, and he was chewing on a spike elk.
Oh man!
And I was probably 20 yards away, and there was just no knowing it.
That butthole went puckered up.
Dude, I got like 2 super blurry pictures with my Canon Sure Shot,
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where like, and I got the fuck out of there. But that bear looked at me like he stopped what he was doing, and I was close enough to see like the strings of blood coming off his jaw.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, I booked it, and I didn't run or anything. I didn't, I kept my my situational awareness. Yeah, I did. I didn't shit my pants until I got back to the truck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did, man. I got out of there as fast as I could without being fast.
Yeah.
And I did.
Man. That'd be
it really wasn't that bad though. Like, he didn't even stand up. He just looked at me, and then he just went back to. He was like, oh,
"Yeah, you're not going to do anything.
What I'm eating's better than you, buddy."
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good on you, bro.
Good elk.
Yeah. But he was cool, big boy.
Man.
And other than that, the ones I've never. I can't even say that I've like run into them. Like, I've seen them like from the road, basically. Yeah.
I guess that's one. I don't know, a benefit of being around here. We really don't have the big predators. Like, there's mountain lions here and there.
Yeah, Fish and Game won't say it, but there are.
And there's black bears, but they're people rarely see them.
Yeah.
So
you know Joe.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about him running into that black bear?
Nuh-uh.
He was up there scouting deer areas, and he didn't take his pistol, and he bumped a black bear, and all he had was a walking stick, so he started hitting the ground with it. Like, don't challenge the thing, just yell and get out of there, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
man.
shit. Yeah, it was like, you don't know what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. But he said his butt puckered up quick.
Oh, I bet.
Because his wife had his pistol. It was in whatever vehicle she was in that day.
Yeah.
I've gotten it. So, personal defense for bears. What's your caliber of choice?
Ooh.
Because I've had this argument with a lot of people over the years.
Yeah.
And the best gun you can have is the one that you have with you.
Exactly.
But
I would say I don't really have a bear defense pistol just because really I haven't needed one. When I went to Colorado and Wyoming to hunt, I have my Taurus Judge pistol, and I loaded it's
45 long Colt.
No, I loaded it up with 3-inch Magnum.
Oh, did you? Slugs?
Slugs, the 410 slugs with it, because they're way more powerful than a 45 Colt. So
45 Colts are like, it's a big bullet, but it's not much behind it.
it's big and slow. It's
Yeah.
like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
It's ballistically it's about the same as a 45 ACP. Really.
So that I have that talk with people a lot who are not and I can't even, like, they're just didn't grow up in
Yeah.
grizzly area.
Yeah.
So they'll well, you know, you want a 45 ACP, and I'm like, that's like one of the worst guns you can have.
Yeah. I mean, I've known some
And then
people.
oh yeah, but with hollow points, I'm like, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
I've heard a few people taking like 10 mils.
So that's actually becoming more and more popular, is the 10 mils, and
Yeah.
I mean I get the theory behind it. I can't say that I subscribe to it.
I don't know about for a grizzly, but
Well, the thing is, and you got to think about it like this. And I'm not defending it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying because I carry a 44.
yeah,
I carry a Smith & Wesson 329 PD with buffalo bores,
yeah,
and I've gambled my life on that gun more times than I can count. That is when I
Yeah.
go into bear territory, that's the gun I have. And I was between that and a 454 Casull.
yeah,
I opted for the 44 because it was an extra round,
yeah. The 454 is only a 5-shot.
a 5-shot versus a 6-shot, and I liked that the 329 PD had a 4-inch barrel, whereas I was looking at the Alaskan and it's got a 2-inch and a 1 7/8 barrel.
Yeah,
So I like accuracy.
yeah,
And I mean, when the shit's hitting the fan, and you got.
yeah.
I don't know how accurate we're really going to be, but I know with that 44, I've shot at an air compressor at 100 yards and hit it. I don't think I could do that with a shorty.
Yeah, a little snub nose.
Yeah, but I like the gun. It's like 26 ounces. It's a great backpacking gun.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Like that revolver versus semi-auto, and some people will say semi-auto you have more higher capacity. But when's the last time you ever saw a revolver jam?
Well,
And so
the
when-
thing is, man, and not because I carry a Glock 43 as my concealed carry gun.
Yeah,
And today's autos they're on par with the revolvers.
Yeah.
They've come far. They're, for a long time I carried a Springfield XD.
yeah,
I carry the Glock. I have a Shadow Systems that I've never had an issue with.
Yeah.
None. I can't say that any problem that I've ever had with any of my guns has been the gun's fault.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
if I've ever had one not cycle, it's because I was limp wristing it, and if I've ever had one not go off, it's because the primer was dimpled and never shot.
yeah.
And I've had that happen 5 or 6 times.
The way I kind of look at it is like for an everyday carry or self-defense pistol, most of the time you're not going to be crawling around out in the woods, camping, being in the environment. If you're backpacking on a hunting trip, you might fall into the river, or you might get
That's
muddy or
true.
dirty, or
That's true. I've
that
done
could induce some malfunction from
That's
the
true.
elements. So
That's true. But have you ever read up on the torture test that they did with the Glocks and with the Springfields?
I have on the Glocks. Yeah, they've really.
Read the one that they did on the XDs.
Yeah.
And I like the XDs. They're a great gun. I don't like the trigger as much as I like on the.
Yeah,
Well, and that's not even true. I don't like a stock Glock trigger either.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
I've
you
done
got
some work on mine. But regardless, 20,000 round. They froze it. They drove it, ran over it. They threw it off a 6-story building. They
That's awesome.
submerged. They did a chemical degreaser on it. Like, they beat the shit out of that gun and did not mount. The only thing that ever happened to it was like one of the sights broke off.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the thing I was going to say is so the 10 mil versus, because the smallest gun that I feel comfortable carrying into grizzly country is a 41 Remington Magnum.
yeah,
I wouldn't do anything less than that. The 357's not an adequate caliber for grizzlies. It's just not. It's a great gun. It's good for black bear country, mountain lion country.
Yeah.
Cool with that. Not grizz.
No.
Just not enough ass in the bullet.
You want something that's going to depart a lot of energy into the target, and it's.
But the thing is, in the 10 mil argument is, what's an average 10 mil bullet? 180 grain, 220 grain,
something like that,
somewhere in there. So I shoot a 255 grain, but that's because I shoot a 329, and it's a lower recoil round. Since it's such a light gun, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have quite the ass behind it. But like, your 44 rounds are getting up in the 310 to 340 grain.
Yeah,
for a hard cast bullet, not for a hollow point.
Yeah, I've shot a 320 round soft nose out of them before.
So let's talk follow-up shots.
Okay.
So with a 10 mil, it's boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
With a 44, it's not.
No, you're
because especially
the recoil
especially with after your first shot, you're probably firing single action.
Yeah.
You're not going to cock the hammer every time, so your trigger pull becomes that much more harsh.
Yeah.
A little more poundage on the pull, which affects your accuracy.
Yeah.
Now when the adrenaline's there, you're never going to notice anything.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, the argument could be made.
Yeah.
That the 10 mil is the better gun simply because in the time that it takes you to take those shots with a 44, where you've got 6 rounds, now you got 12, 13 rounds of 10 mil.
That's true.
Going down range.
Yeah, so you can't...
At probably a more accurate clip in that situation where you're shooting them as fast as you can shoot.
Yeah. Well, and
plus reload time.
Like you were saying a while ago, too, the best gun that you can take is the one that you have.
The one that you have. And that's the thing, too. Don't go buy a new gun and take it into the woods.
Yeah.
Go to the range, get comfortable with it, because the last thing you want is to be in a situation where you need a gun and then have a gun that you are not familiar with.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you have it, you train with it. That way, it's muscle memory. You don't have to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because in a stressful situation, like in an animal attack, you're not going to be able to think. You're going to have to react.
Yeah, it's just pure gut instinct at that point.
So anything that you can effectively deploy without thinking about it, and with anything that you've trained on, is going to be your best option.
Delete.
Take a break. And cut.
Now it's recording.
All right.
I like these microphones, man. They're pretty cool little creation. How do you like that chair?
I feel like I'm going to break it every time I sit in it.
That chair's got to be like 70 years old.
I mean,
like I think,
I'm not small. So.
I think I told you how I got there, right? My great grandma died in I want to say 08, summer of 08, and that was one of the things I got when she passed. So this is 2022, and that thing was old as shit. I mean,
now I feel bad if I broke it.
Look at that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's straight out of like 1955.
Oh yeah, it's probably from the from the baby boom.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I got that, and I got my freezer out of that.
Oh, okay.
Have I told you the story of my hunting freezer?
Your hunting freezer? Are you talking about? I think I heard that story about you getting almost arrested for murder.
Yeah, yeah. So when when I used to live in Las Vegas, I went home to Montana every hunting season, and I went up there and didn't come back until I had gone and done and hunted everything I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I felt bad. I was dating this girl named Jamie. We lived together, and I would go to Afghanistan, and then I would come home to Vegas, and I'd be home like a couple days, and then I would go to Montana for like a month and a half to go hunting. And she was cool. She was understanding about the whole thing, but I I went up there and I shot an elk and a deer and some pheasants and a turkey, and there were several fish.
Yeah.
Well, my freezer that I have in my garage today was one of the things I got from my great grandma when she had passed.
Yeah.
My dad and I hauled it up the stairs. It's a heavy motherfucker. It's like the size of a 64 Bonneville's trunk. I mean, it's a big boy.
Yeah.
It's an old General Electric.
Yeah.
Still running like a champ.
Oh, yeah.
They don't make them like they used to.
No, there's a lot of those old freezers that you still plug them in. They still come right in. Yeah.
Was that me?
That was you.
Oh, fucking Robin Hood. Fuck you. My stops are down. But anyway, I had gone home and shot an elk and a deer and all this other animals. You know,
Yeah.
And I had my freezer was full. And then I went to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And I got back, and this is like July in Vegas.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I think the battery died for their lights.
oh yeah.
Either that or they timed out. I don't know.
That was weird how they did it at the same time, though.
Yeah.
It's got to be the battery. What?
That was weird.
That's amazing. This is really strange.
It was.
They went off at the exact same second. Well, whatever.
So, okay. Wasn't there something with a cat?
Oh, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to that. But yeah, I did forget that part. So, this cat, and I'm not a cat person. I don't like cats in general.
Yeah.
They're just not my favorite thing. And it died I had like 2 weeks left in Afghanistan, and I don't know why. God help me for doing this. I don't know why we did it. I told her just put it in the freezer, and I'll take care of it when I get home, because she was losing it, you know.
Yeah.
She was a cat person. Anyway, so she shoved it in a Nike box, put it in the freezer. So I get home, and it's like day 3, and I'm already, you know how it is when you're overseas, like you're always busy, and then you get home and there's like nothing to do,
Yeah,
so you're just finding shit to do. So I'm cleaning out my garage. And this is like July in Vegas. It's like 120 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm cleaning out my garage, and whatever, it goes great. The garage looks great. It's like a week goes by, and we had gone to Smith's grocery store, and they had these like 10-pound hams on sale, man. And got this ham and got back to the house and putting groceries away. So I'm taking the ham to the freezer, and I'm going through the house, man. I'm doing the Heisman pose. I'm a fucking cool guy. And I get out there and I open up that freezer lid, and it's putrid.
Oh, man,
The smell of rotten meat is just like a Mike Tyson punch to the face.
Oh, man.
And I go walking back in, and I'm like, hey, I don't know what the fuck happened. I think I unplugged the freezer when I was sweeping behind it. So, but you got to put you got to put the ham here in the freezer in the house. And she starts crying. And I'm like, what? Like it sucks, yeah, but like, because it was all the wild meat, and that's where my head's at. You know, I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'll get an elk next year. It's like, I mean, it sucks, but we'll get through it. And she goes, but what about my cat? And I was like, oh, fuck. The cat. I forgot this thing was ever alive. Right?
Yeah.
So I go back out there and I put on like the shittiest old basketball shorts and the shittiest shoes and the shittiest shirt. And I got those like big ass yard waste garbage bags, like the fucking 50-gallon yard waste garbage bags. And I pull out that Nike box with that cat in it, and I like scoot it over to the side of the garage, and I just start pulling out this rotten meat. And it had been unplugged for like over a week.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was nasty as fuck. And I pulled all that meat out and put it in garbage bags and threw it in the back of my truck. And dude, there was like probably 3 inches of like blood and like gel and shit in the bottom of that freezer. So it's dark, you know, it's like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
But it's like still hot as shit. And I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I'm going to put this meat.
Yeah. What am I going to do with all this rotten stinky
and
meat?
It's like 1,000 pounds of rotten meat. So I end up going to the park. I go to the city park. And man, there's like families playing softball and shit with the fucking big old lights on. And
Yeah.
here I am heaving these bloody bags into this garbage can, and I'm not thinking anything of it. But all of a sudden, there's like flashing lights. And I'm like, this doesn't look good. And I look over, and there's like,
what's going on?
And there's like people on the, like with the fingers through the chain link, like looking, and I'm like, fuck. Cops show up. They think they caught Dexter. And yeah, like they and I'm like, guys, it's labeled. It's all like it's elk burger and fucking deer tenderloin. Like just yeah. So they said you can't put this meat here. Like this is not like this is biohazard. And I was like, what do you want me to do? Like I can't throw it in my dumpster. Garbage day's Thursday. It's like a Monday night. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And they're like, yeah. Just keep going, I guess. So they let me be.
Did they pull their weapons and cuff you or anything like that?
They didn't. And I think that it's because I don't know why. I don't have a reason why they didn't. They shockingly. The boys in blue were good to me.
Oh man.
They were cool, they were understanding. I think they were more shocked than anything, but they did look at the packages that said like elk burger, you know. But anyway, then I had to call the mobile crematory service to come pick up that cat. And I got it cremated.
Oh man.
I'm sure it's probably still in a Nike box.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway. So tell me about your longest shot.
So it is definitely not my longest shot. But it's probably
Best shot.
I feel like to this day my most impressive shot. On a small game, this chair's squeaking a little bit.
It's up against that 2x4.
Oh, okay.
I said we're in a shed, guys. Give us a break.
Yeah. All right. So my most impressive shot. You're gonna get a kick out of this. So I was a teenager. Probably 15 or 16, something like that. And it was with an air rifle. With that same air rifle I shot my first squirrel with.
Old reliable.
Old reliable. We lived on a farm, so we'd get mice who would come in the house every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
And we had this mouse that kept getting into shit in our kitchen. And but you know, we'd set a mouse trap. This sucker was smart. I feel bad about it now because this mouse was like little Bojangles from.
It was what, Stuart Little. Is that the name of the mouse?
This little Stuart Little. Yeah, but we
Is that
set
the
up.
little mouse that they made the movie about?
Yeah, and they drove a little car and all that.
Yeah. Killed Stuart Little.
We'd set a mouse trap, and he would either eat the bait off the trap without setting it off, or like set the trap off somehow and then eat the bait off of it. Like we couldn't catch him. Well, he started getting brave, and he would come out with the lights on. He would come out of his like little hole.
Ballsy.
Well, he came out. I set some bait out. I baited this mouse, and I told my dad, I said, I bet you could shoot him. And my dad's like,
Not a fucking chance.
not a chance. It's like, all right, we're gonna see what we can do. So I put some like peanut butter on a cracker out in the kitchen floor, and this mouse comes out. So I'm sitting at the dining room table with my air rifle.
One of those little Lance snack pack.
So I'm thinking, I'll shoot this mouse with my pellet gun right here. And you think of equivalently, like a pellet. It's like shooting a deer with an elephant rifle.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah.
But no, so I take aim on this mouse, and he sees me or the movement startles him or something. He takes off running back to his hole across, and I follow and boom, shoot, and hit this mouse double lung with an air rifle on the run. It's only about
With a witness.
with a witness,
Yes!
with my dad sitting there
Even better.
in front of my dad. And he's like, "Holy shit, you hit that mouse!" But yeah, run it across the
And to you,
across
you're
the
like,
kitchen.
you're damn right.
They damn right I did.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Oh, but yeah, so I think that's probably most shooting a mouse on the run.
That's impressive.
There's tiny, so it might be about the equivalent to a deer at 200 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did when I went on my pronghorn hunt in Wyoming a couple years ago. I shot a buck out there. I think he was 265 when we ranged him. I think that's probably my farthest.
Yeah. That's a shot, man.
Yeah.
Dude, anything over 200 is that's
Yeah.
it's impressive. And I got to be honest, and I'm not, it's just where I grew up. Most of my shots have been at between 200 and 300.
Yeah.
The vast majority of my shots on anything have been between 200 and 300. And it's just the way shit works out there. I think that's pretty much the same thing everybody can say. And I shot a deer at like 15 yards with a 30-06 one time.
Yeah.
And it was my dad's gun. And the deer didn't act like it was hit. And it just moseyed over the hill. And my dad was like, how the fuck did you miss? And I was like, I didn't miss. I hit that thing just right in the boiler room, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, that deer wasn't hit.
Yeah.
And we go over and he's dead. Right
Oh,
on. But
man.
yeah, I mean, he didn't act hit at all.
Oh, wow.
Straight pass through,
Yeah. Maybe from that close a range, I don't know. Maybe the bullet didn't perform like it was supposed to.
Yeah, I mean,
but-
I don't think Federal Premium builds their bullets for 15-yard shots.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Nosler partitions. That's old reliable. That's the best bullet in the world as far as I'm concerned.
We
And
use
that's-
the partitions for elk and mule deer a
Yeah,
lot.
man. I have shot, I would say 99% of my animals with a partition, whether it's the 243 or a 30-30 or whatever. Yeah.
We use the Nosler ballistic tip. It performs more like a hollow point for whitetail and coyote and stuff like that. It doesn't. It's basically the same as the partition, except it doesn't have the partition. It's more of just a
soft lead core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it mushrooms out a lot bigger, expands more. Some of them, depending on what kind of game you hit, it'll fragment and stuff too. But
see, I know a lot of people are big Akibon guys now, and I'm not. I shot a deer with that 338 with a 180 grain Akibon in it, and that bullet grenaded.
yeah,
And
on a large animal, you don't want that. You want you want it to stay intact, retain
it
the weight.
ruined a lot of meat.
Yeah.
I found a lot of bullet fragments, and I hit that deer. It was quartered towards me, and I hit it right in the front shoulder. Mm-hmm. But I found bone fragment because it just blew that shoulder apart, and I found bone fragment. But I also found pieces of bullet in the thigh.
Oh wow!
And that kind of pissed me off. It's a partition I've never had. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a great bullet.
they usually for my hunting ammo, we do reload some ammo, but most of the time, like for my 300 short mag, and then even on couple other rifles I shoot. I always get the Winchester Supreme, the black box, and they use Nosler bullets on their and their loads. And I've always had great luck with them. They've always performed really well.
Yeah.
So
You like hunting with the kids?
oh yeah, the last couple of years, my kids have taken deer and I haven't, but I've been there with them, putting them on the deer. It's great though. I think I get just as excited with them.
Yeah.
And my son, he last year, it's funny. He'll get up to go hunting, but you can't get him up to go to school. But he'll get up to go at 4:00 in the morning and go hunting.
I can relate, man. It's hard for me to get up early to go to work, but man, if we're going hunting, I'll get up and I'll make you breakfast.
Shoot, yeah. So he got a pretty nice whitetail this last year, and
what is the hunting age in Arkansas?
I have to look it up, but I think so. I know for the youth hunt, because they have a youth hunt now. It's usually the weekend before the main season starts, and that has a minimum limit of 5. But you have to be with an adult. They can't hunt by themselves. They have to be with an adult.
Man, I couldn't imagine being 5 years old actually going hunting.
Oh, I remember sitting on a deer stand by myself when I was like 7.
No shit.
And
you can't do that in Montana.
well, I think at the time, I don't think you could. At the time when I did it either. But I know here, if you have your hunter's education course and you have your ID card, you can hunt by yourself. And I think they have I think you can get it when you're 10 or something like that here. But like any other time, you're supposed to be within arm's reach of an adult, basically.
Yeah.
But I took my first deer alone when I was 9.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I think, and I would have to brush up on this, but when I went through hunter safety, you could go through hunter safety at 10
Yeah.
and then hunt at 11, but you had to be with an adult till you were, I think, 15. And then you could do your own thing.
See, I'd have to look it up. It may have changed, but yeah, that was the whole point of your hunter's ed card here originally, was that way you could hunt alone. But my dad, he was the old school. He grew up hunting his whole life, and I remember him taking us to a deer stand, putting us on a stand. I was 7, 8 years old, and it's 2:00 in the afternoon, something like that. Here, climb this tree, sit up there with your rifle. I'll be back at dark. And then he would just leave, and you sit there half the day by yourself. Then every twig you hear is a bear.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I go through that today.
Yeah.
When I'm out in the woods and it's like pre-dawn.
Yeah.
You know, when you're out there in your tree stand, and I go through it today.
Yeah.
I'll hear something, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But I saw my first hog deer hunting this year.
Okay, yeah.
But it was a ways off. There was no way I was getting a shot. But and I had never seen a hog before.
Oh,
okay. But, I'd seen like farm pigs.
Yeah.
But I'd never, and I was like, what the fuck is that thing?
Oh, they're evil looking. They're hairy, ugly.
They're terrifying. And that's the thing is, so that one caught me off guard, but I was in a tree stand. It wasn't like a scary situation. Duck hunting, I bumped 2 giant fucking hogs.
Yeah.
And all I had was my 12 gauge loaded with fucking duck shot.
Yeah.
And Huck, he'll kill anything. He's like, fucking cool, let's do this. And I'm like, sit down.
Yeah. Leave him alone.
And he's looking at me like, what are you doing? Shoot that shit. And they were only probably 40 yards off.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I'm not that worried about me getting attacked. Like, yeah. I don't know why. I don't feel like that threatened. But I was really worried about him.
Yeah.
About them getting my dog.
Oh yeah, so, there's been several dogs. I mean, the people will raise hog dogs too to go.
Catch dogs and shit. Yeah.
But they kill dogs all the time.
Well, after that, I started carrying my 44 out there too, just on the fucking off chance that, because when I get out there, when I'm putting decoys out, I let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Because he gets excited, and when dogs get excited, they shit. So he goes finds a place to shit, and then he wants to go explore stuff, and I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, we're on an island. There's nobody else out there. So I've always till this point felt pretty safe that the worst thing he's going to run into is maybe a skunk.
Yeah.
which has happened.
Yeah.
But I really wasn't too worried about anything until those hogs showed up, and then I was like, shit, I really got to start packing a pistol out here just in case. So I took my 44 with me the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because if something happened to him, man.
I mean, that's not a bad practice to have.
Heart.
I mean, I usually, even here, I'll carry my 45 with me if I'm anywhere where I think there's hogs, just to have a backup.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Like I say, I never, and I've been going out there for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And never had seen a track, never had seen anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, they expand so quick.
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, they'll have a litter, and they'll have like 10 or 15 piglets in a litter, and then they can have a litter every 60 days.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, I did read that they go into heat right after giving birth.
Yeah.
And I think they've reached like sexual maturity at like 8 months or something.
Yeah, like it's like 6 or 8 months, and then they said like a single sow can produce, I want to say, several hundred offspring, like lineage. Like the sow can produce.
Well,
her offspring,
it's exponential.
And then her offspring will have, in like 2 years, it's like hundreds of hogs from one pig.
Yeah, I did make a report to Fish and Game.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything will ever come of it, but I hope they have like the whatever hog control thing that they do. I was going to try and get on that board.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a real. I mean, the down in Texas, they've gotten really bad with the hog problems.
Louisiana's. I mean, it's not. Texas is kind of the worst, but
yeah.
I was reading a deal where Montana's starting to get them now. And
really?
They historically have not had them, but
I would have thought it'd be too cold in the wintertime.
Well, I mean, think about a lot of them are Russian wild boars.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Bear. No, I had read that they are getting them up there now, and that's a shame. I do not want to see that. He's talking about taking kids hunting. I got to tell you a story about hunting with Cooper.
Oh man,
Cooper is my half brother. He's we're different.
That's a good way to put it. Y'all are definitely different.
We are not even remotely similar at all. But I got out of the Air Force in 2008, so he would have been 10 years old. And we were actually up in the same spot where I humped that deer out, up in the Bull Mountains. And we were driving, and we were talking. And we didn't really know each other that well, because you figure I joined the Air Force when he was 3.
Yeah.
And got out, and we were just bullshitting. And he calls me Eastwood. That's my middle name. And he said, Eastwood, I got a question. I said, what's up? He said, why do we hunt the ducks? Or the buck. Sorry. Why do we hunt the bucks instead of the does? And I said, well, it comes down to population control. This is kind of the root factor of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you shoot a buck, another buck will step in and have babies with the doe, and then the deer population really doesn't miss a beat. But if you shoot a doe, you shoot that doe and all the babies she will ever have.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then he said, do they taste different? I said, yeah, they do. I said, it's not, a huge difference. I said, but especially right now, it's the rut. And which is mating season. I said, and the bucks are pumped full of testosterone because they're fighting and they're trying to get rights to have babies. And
yeah.
And he goes, what's testosterone? And I was like,
hitting you with the hard questions.
Shit. So this is his dad's job to explain this stuff, not me. But I felt like I hit a home run with this. I said, it's a chemical produced by your body that turns you from a boy into a man. And I was like, fucking, tee that one up. That was great explanation. Simple, to the point.
Yeah.
And he goes, are you talking about hair on your balls? And I'm like, I'm like, shit. And I said, yeah, kind of. Like, that's one thing it does. I said, but it does other stuff too. And he was like, what? And now I'm scrambling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you get pimples. You'll get taller. Your muscles will grow. Your voice will change. And he goes, my voice is going to change? I said, yeah, man. Here in a couple of years, it's going to get squeaky for a couple of days and it'll change. And he goes, huh. I hope I don't end up with a stupid British accent. And I was like, holy shit, that makes sense. In this little 10-year-old's little,
yeah, a little brain,
silly putty mind, that's where accents come from.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to say. But I just looked at him and I said, God, I hope you don't either, buddy. Totally. But I mean, it does.
Yeah.
It makes sense. All I said was his voice is going to change. I didn't say how.
You have to tell him next time you see him, it's like, hey, at least you didn't end up with a British accent.
Pip, pip, cheerio. Yeah, it was a good time, man. We had some fun up there. Old Coop. We'll get him on here at some point.
I had to see if we can come up with something with history that has to do with video games, maybe.
Techno music.
Techno music.
Yeah, you can talk about a rave.
There we go. That EDC festival in Vegas.
Oh, dude, that would be his heaven. Like I say, he's not a bad kid. He's just different than me.
Probably polar opposites would be a good way to describe that.
In every way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I always tell him. He needs to watch that movie Twins.
Oh, yeah. Which one do you use, Danny DeVito?
I'll leave that up to interpretation. Yeah. Willie was telling me they're remaking that with Kevin Hart.
Oh, that would be funny.
But it's got Schwarzenegger and DeVito and Kevin Hart. And
Oh,
he's
really?
Like the third twin. But I think he was fucking with me. I've tried to research this.
They could do Kevin Hart and Shaq. That'd be great.
That would be. Yeah, I think it'd be wonderful.
Do we want to try this Steve Rinella's whiskey?
I gotta pee again real quick.
We gotta pee.
I got a little bladder, guys. Yeah, but then we gotta get the Rinella in there.
So yeah, since we were talking about hunting and fishing today, that's one thing I picked up this local beer from a new brewery, and it's actually in my hometown. It's Point Remove Brewing Company. This is their Petit Jean Pilsner. It's named after the Petit Jean Mountain in Petit Jean State Park here in Arkansas in Morrilton. It's got it's got a lodge at the top of it. It's got some hiking trails. You can stand on the cliff and see the whole Arkansas River Valley.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, they started the brewery there.
I've heard really good things about that brewery. Like, it's just like beyond the beer being good.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's a really cool environment.
Yeah, they have it's really one of these days is what we need to do is try to get them on the show. We need to go down there and maybe do an episode and talk to them. Maybe we'll have to see if we can get a hold of them.
I'm all for it.
Because the couple that owns the brewery, they also own a winery, and that's how they actually got started. They started making homemade wine.
Well, we know how we get on that wine.
Oh yeah, and then they expanded. They actually expanded the winery into the old Coca-Cola plant in Morrilton, shut down.
No shit.
And then they moved into the Coca-Cola plant and started making wine.
That's awesome, man.
And then
do they grow grapes and everything down there?
Yeah, they have a 1,400 acre farm on the Arkansas River over there. And
while we're down there interviewing, we'll also ask if we can hunt that property.
There you go. Yeah. So
I bet they say no to that.
Yeah, probably. Maybe we can make friends with them, but the Point Remove Brewing Company. So that's based off of there's a creek. It's called Point Remove Creek, and it flows through Morrilton and empties into the Arkansas River.
Okay.
And I grew up fishing that creek.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been there hundreds of times. And
that's awesome.
So it's great because we like to go catfishing a lot. So we would actually go fish in Point Remove Creek and catch our bait. We'd catch perch and brim and stuff and
Yeah.
actually use those as the bait for catfish. Then so we would just go catch our bait, then just move a couple miles down into the Arkansas
cats.
River for the catfish. So
That's good. That's
So-
sustainable.
yeah. So here, seeing the point removed, that just brings back memories of going fishing with my dad.
That's good, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have one here in a few.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad don't drink. So. I'm drinking with your dad.
Yeah. There we go.
No, when we went on that backpacking trip, like I said, my dad really doesn't. He's just not a drinker. But I think I've seen him drunk one time in my life, ever. But we went on that backpacking trip last August, and we got quite a ways back into the Rockies there. We set up camp between these two lakes called Mutt and Jeff Lakes.
Okay.
And that first night, and I didn't know he had done this. He backpacked in a bottle of Maker's Mark, and now my dad doesn't drink at all, but man, he definitely don't drink whiskey.
Yeah.
And he poured them in these solo cups, and he took that first sip, and I thought, fuck, I'm gonna have to carry him out of here. He got red. I mean, just not his thing, man. He's not a he's not a drinker. And it totally caught him off guard, and he goes, oh, he said, man, been a while. I was like, I'll take that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Maker's Mark. I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's lovely. But I want to try some of this.
Yeah, we
So
definitely.
as I said, this is Steve Rinella's whiskey. It is the water is from the Madison River in Ennis, Montana.
Okay.
It's bottled at a place called Willie's Distillery, which a lot of rumor going around that it's Willie Nelson's, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's actually named after the founder of Ennis, William Ennis.
Okay.
But anyway, it's bottled there in Montana, so a little bit of that pride coming through.
Okay.
Then it's sent down to Kentucky, where it is. It's not bottled in Montana. I'm misspeaking. It's distilled in Montana,
Yeah.
and then it's aged and bottled in Kentucky. It's aged in white oak barrels in Kentucky, and then bottled.
Is it a? Oh, it is a bourbon because I think it has to actually be aged and bottled in Kentucky to be called a bourbon. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm sure. We haven't tried it yet. We're getting to it. But just gonna celebrate a little Steve Rinella. It says it pairs good with moose heart, which I have yet to try.
Never had moose heart. I've had deer heart, and that's not bad.
Yeah,
A little chewy.
I've never had deer heart either. I'm gonna sip this water down so I can get a couple of fresh ice cubes in there. I got my Yetis here, right here, with ice cubes. I'll let you fish your own out of there.
There we go.
Cooper got me this meat eater as a gift for my wedding. So thank you, Cooper. Wish you were here to try it. He's in the house passed out. He helped me build some raised bed gardens today, so it tuckered him out. Poor little fella. So we're going to try a little bit of Steve Rinella's whiskey here. And by the way, if you guys want, listen to some of Steve's stories. That dude.
Yeah. He has.
That dude is real, and he's got a couple of very good books out there too. So
Yeah, he's made some of the bestseller lists on some of his books, and
the guy is just can't say enough good stuff about him.
if you like,
He has a show on Netflix,
yeah, the Meat Eaters.
the Meat Eater Show. It's very entertaining. If you want to learn how to cook some good stuff, it's on there.
Yeah.
And just man, you could live vicariously through that guy.
Yeah, he's got his own podcast, the Meat.
I have a man crush on Steve Rinella.
And he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast several times too. They're good buddies.
Have you? He went hunting with Evan Hafer. From Black Rifle, and Evan Hafer has not yet put out that story, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's a good one.
All right, let's try this.
That's fucking good.
It is. That's smooth.
There's no bite to it at all.
No.
I bet that would pair well with a moose heart. Good job, Steve, and Willie's Distillery. That is really
That is nice.
That is
yeah.
phenomenal. Wow, that's very good. Don't mix your whiskey with Coke either.
No, it doesn't have that there's something that have that kind of that harsh bite to it, like you're saying, and it's really.
Oh man, this could get me in some trouble.
Have you ever had the Woodford Reserve whiskey? It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
I drink a lot of Gentleman Jack. Is kind of my go-to. I got a bottle. I got a bottle in that drawer over there, actually. Don't tell Keisha. But I like this. I like this a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
My dad's bringing a bottle down for the wedding too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah.
I guess she just texted me good night here. Let me shoot her a text real quick. We were gonna drink some Jägermeister on here because Jägermeister literally means the master hunter. But then we realized neither one of us likes Jägermeister.
I didn't realize with Jaeger. To me, it just tastes like straight black licorice, and I can't stand black licorice. But evidently, it has 56 different herbs and spices, and
It's like a liquid KFC chicken. No Colonel's recipe.
Oh, Colonel's chicken tastes a lot better than Jägermeister.
Yeah.
But evidently, it was the way it was started. It was for a tonic supposed to aid digestion.
They call it a digestif, which is I believe, just a term for a liquid appetizer.
Huh. Yeah.
But it's big in Germany. That's where it's from.
Evidently, there's actually several different competitors for it in Germany that all similar type profiles and they must like
terrible.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I understand that it's like I don't know if it's even a big thing anymore. The Jägerbombs.
The Jägerbombs
I don't know if that's even like the going thing anymore. I think White Claw kind of took over.
Yeah.
But
and the thing is, though, I'd rather drink a White Claw than I would Jaeger.
Oh man, I'm not a Jaeger drinker, man.
Oh.
I never have been.
No.
I think you know what I think took over for Jaeger's spot in that? Fireball.
Fireball, yeah, and I don't really care that much for Fireball, but I like it a lot better.
My
than
mom loves Fireball. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't care for it.
Fireball and apple cider is good. Mix that, have it in that fall, and the spiced apple cider with a little bit of. And it's basically just cinnamon apple juice then.
Well, see, so my going away party for the Air Force, we knew the bouncers that worked at this club downtown called the Wild West in Billings, and it's closed now. It's been closed for several years, but we used to go down there and party, and I could get served in there at 17 years old just because we knew everybody, and we went down there and. We sat in the parking lot and we pre-gamed and we drank a bunch of Southern Comfort and Hot Damn.
Oh man, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, I haven't drank Southern Comfort since.
Yeah.
But once you throw up Hot Damn, you will never so much as chew Big Red Gum again in your life. Like, it's just not there.
Oh man, yeah.
So the fireball thing is, I can gut my way through it.
Yeah.
But I hate it.
Yeah, there's the cinnamon or whatever. Yeah.
It's I want my whiskey to taste like fucking whiskey.
Yeah.
I was a member at a golf course in Las Vegas called Silverstone. It's now closed, sadly. It was the best deal in the world for golf.
Yeah.
A great, phenomenal course, great prices, awesome staff. I loved it there. But my grandma, my mom's mom, she had a hookup for moonshine.
Oh wow.
Up in Montana. So when I would go home, she would hook me up with moonshine.
Yeah.
And then I would go back and I would leave some in my golf bag. And my golf bag was stored at the course. Like they kept it there down in the basement. Kept there. All the members had they would just left their clubs there.
Yeah.
And man, I played golf like 4 days a week there. Between deployments. I would deploy for 4 months and I would come home.
Yeah.
And when I was home I didn't work. So I play golf all the fucking time. But I got to know all the workers that were there, all the cart guys, and they all knew that I had moonshine in my bag. And I would tell them, like, feel free, man. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I got more. Like, if you want to drink it, have some. So they would. And when that course closed, man, it was just a travesty. That place was just the best course in town.
Yeah.
For the money.
Yeah.
But they put out an email that said, all the members need to pick up their clubs by such and such a date. So I went by to get mine, and they had put some Jack Daniels in my bag for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
As a thank you.
For all the, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. They were great, and I played a few rounds with the guys, and they would always bring a bottle with. And
yeah,
it was a good time. You know who my big golf partner was out there? Micah Tool.
Old Kaufman.
We goofed together. We golfed together. We goofed together. Golfed together.
Yeah.
Most of the time, man. We played. I'll never forget that shit, man. I had he beat me all the time. He was a better golfer than me.
Really?
I think I beat him 3 times the whole time we played. But the one time I kicked his ass, and I made an eagle. And I put that golf ball, my bag has a holder for 3 balls, and I wrote on it the hole that I got, the desert number 2 or 3 or whatever was the name of the hole.
Yeah.
And then I put eagle, and then I put it right in the middle of that. And every time he'd be like, "Why don't you take that fucking ball out?" It bothered him. Oh God, man. It was great. Yeah, he's a good sport. He's joking around, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, my dad got to play with him.
Okay.
My dad came down to Vegas and played with me and Micah and God, some other guy that we played with, and the other guy hit his tee shot, and it ended up, there was houses lining the fairways there.
Yeah.
And it ended up right by these people's gate. I think it hit off their fence and bounced back to play. And the guy went to take his second shot, and he hit a rock and shot back over his head. And the people were pissed already. And then it landed in their yard. And he had to ask him for his ball back. Can I have my... Oh, fuck. We laughed so hard, man.
He's like a little kid. Can I have my ball back, please?
One of the guys I used to golf with there was a guide up in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
So he would do his summers down in Vegas, and then he would do hunting season up in Alaska.
Yeah.
And he would do caribou and grizzly were his big draws, yeah. So we shot the shit a lot about hunting. He was way more of a hunter than I'll ever be.
Yeah, that hunting in Alaska is a different breed. I mean, it's
just, geographically, man, you're away from everything. Like here, when you go hunt, you're in the woods, but when you go up to Alaska, like, you're
alone, truly, up there. Yeah.
You might as well go back 1,000 years.
Yeah.
You have modern weapons, but the lay of the land just hasn't changed.
Yeah. And then they talk about there's places where still nobody's ever been up there, at least.
I don't know if I covered it on that last one about the waterfalls in Yellowstone.
Yeah, we talked about it someone last time.
Yeah. So you think about that. You get a state like Montana, which is wild. It's Alaska Junior for the lower 48, essentially. But you think about that. How much of Montana still hasn't really been explored. It's been somewhat mapped, but there's spots in the Dearborn Wilderness and in the Scapegoat Wilderness that really haven't been explored. That's like 98% of Alaska.
Yeah, exactly. There's
really,
just that.
It's wild. Like it's legitimate. It's like the most wild place on the planet. It's like the Amazon, or parts of Africa, or inland fucking Australia. Like there's some of it that just people just don't go.
Well, in that wilderness in Montana, Canada, up through that area, and Alaska, if Bigfoot was real, that's where he's at.
Segue here. What's your thoughts on old Bigfoot?
Oh,
Are you a believer?
I want to believe. The thing, I think it's possible.
Yeah,
I think
we ride in the same canoe, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know for sure because you always there's the
grainy pictures.
The grainy pictures of the crazies that it's usually always the crazies that give any kind of stuff like that a bad name, because you got those that, oh, I found a skeleton, or I found a
fucking
hair.
TV shows with the people running around at night with the IR cameras. Dude,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah. But I definitely think there's a possibility of undiscovered or
That's
species, or a species that we thought was extinct that is still there.
That's the, I look at like Native American legend is yeah, it's legend, but it's based in something.
Yeah.
And there's like you look just where in Montana there's a lot of Native American heritage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tribes that call Montana home. And they all have the story of, and it may not be Bigfoot by name, but it's Bigfoot. They have these legendary stories. You go to Russia, they got the Yeti. You go to the Himalayas, they got the Yeti or whatever. There's stories about this, and there's just too much of it, too widespread.
Yeah.
To where it's one guy's thought that, and I mean, and I'm not saying that Bigfoot is real.
Well,
but I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility. Maybe not even in the U.S. Maybe somewhere like Siberia.
Yeah.
In Tibet, Nepal, some of these remote regions of the world where there is a undiscovered species of great ape that is not necessarily the missing link, but you look at like Neanderthal, Gigantopithecus.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Gigantopithecus was a great ape that was over 7 feet tall.
Big bastard, yeah.
And they said, but really, if you look at how they reconstructed some skeletons and stuff, the fossils they'd found, and it really kind of fits the description of a stereotypical Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And so what's to say that we think that animal's extinct, but there's pockets of them surviving.
Well, I was reading a deal the other day about the California grizzly bear.
Yeah.
That's on the California state flag, and they have found, rumored to have found, it's not scientifically proven yet, but they are catching grizzlies on trail cams in the mountains of Baja, Mexico.
Yeah.
And just it's knowledge, scientific knowledge, that those would be, if they're really there, would be the California subspecies of grizzly bear.
Yeah.
That have lived and thrived at 10,000 plus feet in these unexplored regions of the mountains.
Yeah.
And if that's there, and I don't know, I would have to Google it, the last year that there was a confirmed grizzly sighting in California, but I'm guessing 1960s.
Yeah.
Would be my dart to throw. I would say the 60s. That's years, and that's 50 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
60 years ago now, that those bears have been living pretty much undiscovered in these forests and these mountain regions.
Yeah. And you got to think how populated California is and stuff, though, in that Baja region. I mean, you got all these people there, and they still didn't find these bears.
Well, this is Mexico, so it's not quite as...
Yeah.
It's, south of Juarez.
Okay.
Or not Juarez, but...
Tijuana?
Tijuana,
yeah.
TJ. Yeah. So it's... But it's a area that is mapped.
Yeah.
It's somewhat explored, which isn't too far off when you think about it. Not geographically, but just situationally. Yeah. Like these areas of Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, maybe parts of Colorado.
Yeah.
Washington, Oregon, British Columbia. You get into these areas that are very similar from a environmental standpoint, that are relatively remote.
Yeah.
They're not. There's not people there. People may pass through, but there's not like.
There's no permanent presence of people there.
Like the town that I like to think of when I come to that is Yak, Montana. And you've probably never heard of it. It's I mean, you may as well be in the back country in Alaska. It's a
Yeah.
There's a road going through it. I mean, you can get there, but it's like, as far as living there, like, it's remote. There's not like these, super grocery stores. And I mean, it's if you're a mile from Yak, you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's not that far-fetched to think that there's something there that you just don't know about. And people talk about how you don't see dead bodies, or you don't ever stumble on Bigfoot bones. When's the last time you found a dead bear?
Yeah.
I never have in my life.
No.
And I've spent, not a Steve Rinella amount of time in the woods, but more than the average person. I've been in the woods.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a dead bear. And I know bears are real because I've seen living bears.
Yeah, exactly. And not even just a bear. I mean, you think of how often do you find a dead deer?
Yeah, well, yeah, then I didn't think about that. But yeah, probably, I've probably...
There's many more deer than there are bears.
Oh, thousands, yeah, hundreds of thousands. And I've probably found a dead deer 4 or 5 times.
But that's the thing, because like we were talking about earlier, an animal in the wild doesn't die a peaceful death.
Yeah.
They're part of the food chain. So if you end up dead in the woods, you're going to get eaten by something and carried off and scattered
Coyotes,
out. And,
fucking hogs.
Yeah.
But I mean, you like bugs break down bodies fucking quick.
Yeah.
You got vultures here. There's not. I mean, I'm sure there's vultures in Montana. I don't know that I ever saw one up there.
Yeah.
But there's eagles. Eagles are
they're a scavenger.
they're a carrion eater. Yeah. Like that's a big a known thing. That's why Ben Franklin kind of opposed their posting as the national bird.
He wanted to. I'm glad
the turkey.
He wanted to do the turkey, and I'm glad he didn't, because they're delicious, and we wouldn't be able to eat them.
And I mean, I know turkeys are they have a pretty side, but they're an ugly bird.
Yeah.
Eagles are beautiful. They're badass.
They are. Yeah. I'm glad they picked the eagle.
Me too. Go Eagle. Plus, when I was in the Air Force, and I know a lot of squadrons have the eagle as their logo, but I was the 334th Eagles, and I don't think the 334th Turkeys rings as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not quite as intimidating.
It's truly not. Have you shot a turkey down here in Arkansas? Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, my son this last weekend got his first turkey. So he
Are you serious?
Yeah,
shit! Congratulations.
He got him a.
That's great.
It was actually a pretty good size. It's 22-pound, 9.5-inch beard.
That's a big bird.
Eastern wild turkey in Arkansas.
Fucking A, man. Good
So
for him.
he was excited.
Good for him. That's great. I have shot 2 turkeys in my life, and I have not been turkey hunting once. We would throw the shotgun in the truck just in case up in Montana.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 turkeys just because they were there.
Can you shoot a turkey with a rifle in Montana?
You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, like, it's totally illegal here. You can't use a rifle to turkey hunt. You either use archery or a shotgun. And
yeah,
but
it's not like a widely popular thing, but yeah, it's there's no caliber limit or whatever.
yeah, we were in Colorado hunting one time, and we were talking to some locals there, and somehow we got on the subject of turkey hunting, and they're asking, well, what do we turkey hunt with? And we said, we normally use our 12 gauge, shotgun to turkey hunt with. And they're like, a shotgun? How do you get that close to them to shoot them with a shotgun? And like, well, you got to call them in. You got to dress camo and call them in. They're like, we just shoot them with a rifle here.
Yeah,
like,
I
you
know
can't do that.
the last one my dad shot was with his 30-aught.
Yeah.
He was on elk hunt and shot it right out of a tree.
Man.
The last time that I even saw, well, I've seen turkeys down here when I've been deer hunting. You know what? Not to get off topic here, but what pisses me off?
What?
There's no fall turkey season here.
There used to be. And they suspended the fall turkey season because the turkey population got low. So the problem is there's not, and this is my opinion on it, I think, but two of the biggest enemies for turkeys is raccoons and coyotes. Raccoons are bad about robbing turkey nest for the eggs.
I didn't think about that.
And coyotes will catch poults, the young turkeys, and kill them. So, since the fur trade got to be such a taboo thing, people don't hunt raccoons and hunt coyotes like they used to. So the populations of raccoons
Have just blown up.
have raccoons and coyotes, or there's more raccoons and coyotes now than there probably have been in 100 years. And the turkey population in Arkansas has really dwindled down, and I think it's a lot from depredation.
Man, I'll tell you what, where I deer hunt, every fucking time I go, I run into turkeys. And they will walk right up to me. Like, they're not scared. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, because if a deer comes in and I move and you run and the deer runs, I'm gonna be pissed off.
It's funny because a deer will use a turkey as an alarm, basically, because the turkey can hear and see so much better than a deer can. A deer relies on its smell a lot of times for...
Yeah, that's why they lick their nose. I didn't know that. They lick their nose because the wetness attracts the scent particles.
Yeah. Like on a dog, you hear of the cold, wet nose. They can smell. Yeah. But yeah, the turkey has vision like a falcon, or it has that.
Yeah, I know they have extra sets of rods and cones like a duck.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, and I just learned this last hunting season. Even possibly deer and elk, ungulates, can see in infrared. I know ducks can. I actually most birds can see in infrared.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that's why. So that's why when you duck hunt, you need to wash your clothing, your camo, in like we use all free and clear, I think is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't have any of the brighteners, the brightness boosters like Tide and whatever.
Oh yeah.
Because even if you're camouflaged, the color booster that is in most detergents will actually overly boost your greens and your yellows and shit and your camo. So you have to be real careful about that as a duck hunter, because ducks vision is really tuned into reflections, because they fly and they land in water.
Yeah.
So they will go off moonlight reflecting off water to land.
Yeah.
But your skin and your clothing will also reflect that moonlight. So you, as a person, if you don't put camo on your face or wear a cap at least, with your beard, it'll camouflage it a lot. But with your clothing, with a color booster, if you go out on a duck hunt and you are like out in the open, a duck will see you like you're fucking wearing. Yeah,
like a beacon out there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's incredible how evolved animals are in ways that we are still discovering.
Yeah, and how the thing is too, and how in tune with the environment they are. Just they'll notice when something's out of place. The strange noise. I've been turkey hunting several times, and they talked about how good their hearing is though too. Full camo face mask, wearing a ghillie suit pretty much with a shotgun under a tree. And I've got a bead on a turkey, and I click the safety off.
And they know it.
And they, not only do they know it, they look right at you. Like, they not only heard it, but they heard exactly where it came from.
It's incredible.
I've had turkeys, when I click the safety off, look at me and say, that's where it came from right there. And
that's wild.
Yeah. And I don't know I don't think people could do that.
It's funny. I think those turkeys that I see up there in the Ozarks when I'm hunting.
Yeah.
The only reason they come up is because they know I'm not hunting them.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you're deer hunting, you always have that squirrel or that comes out and plays. I've had squirrels climb up in the deer stand with me, and they know I'm not. I'm like, I'm ready to shoot you because you won't leave me alone. Or
I had a raccoon last year come up to me. It was a juvenile raccoon.
Yeah.
And I was hunting from a ground blind. I wasn't in a tree. I was on a ground blind, and I had put a bungee cord between these two trees and put camo netting basically over it, and I had a chair behind it. But I was like sick of sitting, my back was hurting, and I had stood up to kind of stretch, and I had stepped back about 10 feet from my blind.
Yeah.
And I was back there, and I was just and I heard a rustling to my right, and I was like, and everything's quiet except this and the leaves, and I'm like, what is this? So I'm looking, I don't see anything, and everything's silent again.
Yeah.
Shit, well, whatever. Well, then it starts up again. So I very cautiously kind of lean over, and it's this raccoon. and he I don't know, he's hunting for grubs or whatever, but he would dig a little bit, and then he would come a little bit more towards me, and he'd dig a little bit, and then he'd come a little bit more towards me, and he got up to where he was about, I don't know, 7-8 feet away to my right, and he saw my blind.
Yeah.
And he got up on his back feet, and he's like looking at it, and he's staring at it, and his head is cocking left and right, and he's going, what the fuck is that? Like, that wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah.
So I didn't move.
Yeah.
And then he came a little closer, and he stood up again, and he's looking at it. Well, but he's still cautious,
Yeah.
So he gets down on all fours, and he goes around this tree. And he comes up, and he's standing about 6 inches from my right leg, and he's staring at my blind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trying to not laugh because he's cute as shit. He's really
he's so focused on the blind he doesn't even see.
He doesn't see me at all. Yeah, doesn't see me, doesn't smell me, nothing. And he's like I could have reached down and scratched his little head. And he's looking at this blind, and I'm thinking, and it was getting to be the golden hour.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the deer are gonna be moving. I got to get him out of here because if I go to draw back on my bow, he's gonna run. The deer's gonna run. That's all gonna be for naught. So I'm hanging out, and this little dude's 6 inches from my foot, and I'm like, I gotta just let him know I'm here.
Yeah.
So I just casually look down at him, and he looks up at me like, who the fuck are you?
Where did you come from?
And he runs. Like he's just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But his instinct is to go to the nearest tree, which is literally like, I could put my arm around it. And he scoots up that thing about 8 feet, and he stops. And I can hear him just scratching his little fat ass up there. And he stops, and he gets to a point where he's like, he's got to be gone. But he's, at this point, he's a foot away. so I can see his little face come around the side of the tree. Man, and he hangs it, and he comes up just perfectly sideways, and he's looking at me. And then he goes to the other side of the tree, and his little face comes out of there, and I'm just looking at him like,
yeah,
like I'm not gonna hurt you, but get the fuck out of here. So I after about 10 minutes of this, I guess he decided I wasn't a threat, and he just scooted down and went off the other way in his own time.
Oh man!
But he was cool as shit, man. I felt like I made a friend. Yeah. I
may go back out there next year, and he's still out there.
I hope he is.
He comes to visit.
I hope he is, man. He was cool. He was friendly.
Man.
Definitely those interactions and people who don't hunt, who don't spend the time in the wilderness, they don't get to experience things like that. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people take away from hunting, these bad narratives. Like, man, we're just out there to kill. Well, and that's not how it is.
That's actually the thing. I think taking an animal or filling your tag is, I guess, really just the bonus, because I get so much joy just from sitting out in nature. The
interaction is amazing.
Well, I mean, because you got to think, you got your career, your family, all of your responsibilities, all this stuff going on, all this stuff, and you can take a time to be out just in the peace of nature. You're hearing the birds sing, the squirrels play.
Get out of cell phone range for an hour, and you will be blown away at how much stress leaves your body.
Just being out there, and you sitting in the tree. Like, I tree stand hunt a lot, and one of the things, you're sitting in a tree, like the gentle breeze blowing, swaying back and forth, the sun shining through the...
And if you're not used to it, you're shitting your pants and there's trees going down.
Yeah, but it's like just being out there in nature and smelling the smells and hearing the sounds and seeing the different types of wildlife that come through. You just be amazed. I'm out there deer hunting, but you see, like you said, turkeys, raccoons, squirrels, stuff coming by that you wouldn't see normally.
So like I said, I duck hunt a lot.
Yeah,
and I love ducks. They're just a spectacular animal.
Yeah.
That people don't interact with because they're not a cute, furry, fuzzy little thing. But they have their own, like we talked about the eyesight thing, but they have their own intelligence.
Yeah.
And ducks are really they're really neat once you get to interact with them. So the last they do the military hunt is the weekend after the last weekend of hunting season.
Yeah.
And I went out on the military hunt this year, and I actually got to a point, and I think we had shot 4 ducks, and 6 is your limit here.
Yeah.
And I had shot 4, and I put my shotgun down, and I just started calling, and we went through. You've heard of Black Cloud ammunition?
Yeah.
Do you know where the name comes from? That
No.
when you get a cloud of mallards that comes over, and it's not, it doesn't happen often. It's one of those things that, like, if you ever experience it, it will stay with you forever.
I've seen geese come in like that before, like the snow geese and speckles come in with like
Yeah.
a cloud.
So you've seen how many they call it a whiteout, a blizzard, whatever. The little slang terms. When it's mallards, they call it a black cloud.
Yeah.
And it happened to me and Huck this past hunting season on that military hunt, where we were on that island and a black cloud came in. And I am not kidding, not exaggerating. I will bet you we saw over 20,000 mallards.
Oh, wow.
Come in that last morning. And
amazing.
I didn't even know what to do. Like it was
Yeah.
like hunting them got to be hectic.
Yeah.
Because there was just, like, you didn't know where to aim. It was like you see the grizzlies up on hunting the rivers for the salmon spawn.
Yeah.
And, like, they get so confused because there's just so many.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah,
hunting.
they're just like going in all different directions. Yeah.
Christ, like how can
pick
you
a point and
just
just shoot in
one? Yeah. So we did. I just put my gun down and I just called, and it was just an amazing experience.
Yeah.
To be in there and entrenched in that activity. All these ducks coming in and flying in every direction.
Yeah.
And just studying them. And, feeling like you're part of it.
Well,
It was a great experience.
There's been no telling how many times going back to deer hunting. You're sitting on your deer stand and you might have some does. If you're not hunting does, you might have 3 or 4 does in the stand on the ground in front of you.
Yeah.
Maybe some fawns or something like that, and you're not gonna shoot one of these does right here in front of you. But just them being there and you're witnessing them and how they interact.
It's beautiful.
But then you also know I've got to be still and quiet. The adrenaline still gets going because you have this animal right here in front of you that can smell you or hear you if you get too careless or whatever. But just seeing them and being in their presence it's
a humbling experience.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what some people that don't hunt they don't really realize like you said, we're just not going out there killing stuff. It's a relationship with nature. And
I think that as a hunter,
yeah,
as somebody who already makes that choice to go out into a place where your intention is to take a life.
Yeah.
The biggest responsibility you can have is to take that life ethically.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take a shot unless it's going to be a well-placed shot.
Yeah.
Don't rush a situation. Don't put yourself into a circumstance where you're going to cause undue harm to this animal. Like your intention is to kill it, but you have to do it in a way that you're going to cause as little pain as you possibly can.
Yeah.
You're
the least amount of suffering as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, because and I think as a hunter you feel a connection with an animal that nobody gets to. Like it's just not. Well, you're so far removed from it if you buy meat in a grocery store.
And that's the thing. I think people have been so far removed from the food chain that they don't. Like, because I've actually heard some people say, well, why would you go hunting? You just go to Walmart and buy it. Well, that's still an animal that you're going to buy at Walmart.
And how can you as the consumer say, well, this cow's life meant less than this deer's life?
But the thing is, though, too, it's the way I see it is if I'm going to eat meat and the meat comes from an animal that had to lose its life, I should take some of that responsibility And
Absolutely.
and instead of being so detached from it and that I just go buy it, if I take on that responsibility to harvest that meat myself, even a lot of the beef I eat now, my sister and brother-in-law own, they run a cattle ranch, and most of our beef now comes from their farm. So it's we know where our beef comes from. We know where our deer, our protein comes from sources that we know where it comes from. So we know it's ethically sourced.
When I lived in Montana,
Yeah.
my family ran cattle, so
Yeah.
we got beef from them. But down here, you
Yeah.
know what I don't provide hunting wise, we get from
Yeah.
beef at Walmart, and I don't feel bad about it. I guess
No.
I'm still going to eat the burger.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But it's just I do think about things like. I'm not going to throw names out there, but I know guys who raise cattle and feed them shit feed. Feed them like sugar beet pulp.
Yeah.
And just, but they sign them off. And that's what people don't understand is when you see grass-fed beef on the label,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that.
No.
That means that the farmer, the rancher attested to that.
Yeah.
Well, he's a liar a lot of the time.
Well,
and that's what guys I know would raise these cows on just shit feed.
Yeah.
And then claim they were grass fed. Well,
and there's
Walmart doesn't know any better. It's not
Yeah.
like they're intentionally deceiving people, but they're taking somebody at their word for it.
And there's no really standard for grass fed. It's like, yeah, that animal ate grass, so yeah, technically it's grass fed.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it also ate fucking silage corn.
Yeah. Well, I think though too, sitting down at the dinner table and eating a meal of not only just maybe a deer that you killed, but maybe even with vegetables that you gardened yourself from.
Yeah.
You have a better, a deeper appreciation for
something you put the work in for.
You put the work in for it. You put the sacrifice in for it. You put your effort into that. It just means more.
Absolutely.
To you. And so it's more of a, almost to that point, it's almost like a spiritual connection with the land, with the animals, with the food chain.
And realistically, you're sad to take a life. Like there's a part of you that feels, I don't know that I would say guilty, but there's just an inborn, I don't know the word.
Yeah.
But there's something in you that you it's a deep appreciation, and it's you feel sad that something died. You do.
Yeah.
But there's you also, like, that's how you live. Like that's why people have sharp teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
There's these things that tell you this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's and that's the thing I think of why people should think about that more, is because it does force you to think about your food and where it comes from, and
not only that, your own mortality.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're all part of the food chain in some way or another. Even if we die of natural causes and they bury us in the ground, bugs and worms and insects are gonna.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Have you seen those? The tree root coffins?
No, I have not.
They put you in like a fucking potato sack and bury you with a tree seed.
Okay. But yeah, when it comes to hunting in general, I feel you just have such a more personal connection with what you eat, and I think that's the way it should be. And I understand with society and farming and stuff. I mean, I grew up on a farm, and I know.
Did you guys do like cash crops or just like sustainable?
No, we did growing up, which we raised when I was little. We raised chickens, and we had 2 broiler houses raised broiler chickens. So that was.
I don't know what that means.
The Tyson. We worked.
Oh,
for Tyson,
okay, all right.
So,
So chicken house, like legit, like the big old. Man,
Yeah.
those. For those of you who haven't been to Arkansas, man, a chicken house is a big fucking building.
Yeah.
They're
And we had
narrow, but they are long.
Well-
And there's a shitload of chickens in there.
And we had what would be considered a small operation, and we had two broiler houses, and we would raise Oh, probably 50 to 60,000 birds at one time. And
Jesus Christ, dude.
yeah, about 20 to 30,000 per house. We had two houses. And I think they're like 50 by 400 feet, something like that.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Do you have to go through and like collect eggs in there?
Oh, there's another story with that. So yeah, you would collect eggs. What so the thing with broilers, they were.
Are they like a specific breed of chicken?
Yeah, and it's what they were is they were basically selectively bred to over the years. Like they have this chicken developed now to where it goes from baby chick to harvest size and weight in about 6 to 8 weeks. It's
So they're a fast grower.
fast grower. And
They could have like gigantism.
I really kind of think they do breed for some of that trait because these chickens won't stop growing their whole life basically, and eventually they just have a heart attack and die. Like we've had
Like
chickens.
a Great Dane of chickens.
Yeah, really, because we had chickens that would because they come and when you catch the chickens to take them to have processed, every now and then someone will escape and they're running around on the farm loose, right? And you'll see a chicken, like especially the roosters would get huge and like almost the size of a turkey, huge. And
Jesus Christ.
he'd be out there chasing a bug or something and just fall over and start kicking and die because he'd have a heart
No
attack.
shit.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like that.
but no, normally about 6 to 8 weeks they're ready to harvest, and so usually you didn't get a whole lot of eggs because most of the time they wouldn't start laying at that age.
What do what do you feed chicken like that many chickens? What do you feed them?
It's a protein mix. It's a pellet feed like you go to
Like you get at the co-op?
yeah, you get the co-op, but it'd have
Like just when you break down the volume, like that's got to be so much food.
oh well yeah. So we had these feed silos at each chicken house, and they would bring a truckload of feed in, and it was each silo would hold like 8 or 10 tons of feed, something like that. And you'd go through that.
Jesus.
You'd go through that amount of feed, I think, each cycle.
How does the chicken house smell?
Yeah, you drive by around here, and I guess it's one of those things. If you lived on one of those, you get used to it. But
I've been behind the chicken trucks
oh yeah,
on my motorcycle,
yeah,
and it's like
it is. It's
and like I'm riding Harley, so I'm
Yeah.
not riding like a fucking, Ninja ZX12 or whatever. It's not like a super fucking fast bike. Like it takes me a second to get around them,
yeah.
and for that second, I'm gagging.
Oh yeah, yeah. The chicken houses and the turkey houses are even worse. Turkeys smell worse. But the
Sounds like a job for Mike Rowe.
yeah, we raised laying pullets one time for I think
Raised what?
so okay. So you have chickens that lay eggs, and then you have the meat chickens, the broilers that are raised for meat. Well,
So I don't mean to interrupt, but like when you buy a rotisserie chicken at Walmart, is
Yeah.
that like your average sized broiler chicken?
yeah, I think probably average size, yeah.
Okay.
And then like we was talking about the big ass chicken breast earlier.
Yeah.
Those are usually rooster chicken breasts that like because you'll have the hens, and usually when you get chickens, it's like straight run they call it, and there'll be hens and roosters.
So it's a mix.
It's a mix.
So it's
yeah.
not like alligators.
Well, so when you get laying hens, they're usually sexed, and that just means when you raise a group of hens, it's all hens.
Can you, like I was saying, because alligators' sex is determined by the temperature of their eggs.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you influence?
I don't know. I probably now. I bet you there's probably a way to do it. I don't know.
And this goes back to the whole fucking thing about how people fuck with shit
Yeah.
and just we're not good. We're not good
No.
at them. We're shitty managers. Is
Oh,
what
yeah.
we are.
Well, we try to fuck with stuff too much. I think we
Yeah.
poke stuff.
You over fuck.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so there's this. So you have the big these they call them lay houses. So where it's the basically the egg companies where Walmart or the grocery store gets
Eggland's
their
Best,
eggs.
yeah.
So
Do they contract out?
Yeah, basically, it's what it is in a way. So the lay houses don't want the hens until they're laying eggs because they don't want to raise the chickens from chicks up until they're laying. It takes them about anywhere from like 12 to 20 weeks to get that old to start laying.
Okay.
So they contract out growers to raise the chicks up until laying age, and then when they start laying, then they come collect them, and then they put them in the lay houses where all they eat and
it's a lot of transportation.
Yeah. So when you have 20,000 laying hens in a house, and they start laying, and so they start laying eggs, and then you call up the egg producer and say, all right, your hens are laying, it's time to come pick them up. Well, it might take them a week or 2 weeks to come get
so it's a lot of eggs though, because it's like an egg a day per chicken.
Most chickens lay an egg a day. But when they're young, they might be a little inconsistent every other day, every 2 or 3 days. But that's still 5,000 or 6,000 eggs every day that you're getting out of your house that you have to go collect.
So they're not bred though, right? They're like
no, the eggs. The eggs you get in the store are infertile. You couldn't go hatch those. Because there's no rooster. You got to be a rooster involved. So a hen will lay an egg regardless if it has a rooster or not.
Do you know what the largest single cell in the world is?
It's an egg, I think. Yeah.
An ostrich egg.
Oh, yeah.
It's the largest single cell in the world.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, when you think of it that way, yeah. Because even like in the human body, the egg cell is the biggest cell.
Yeah.
They said you can even see an egg cell in a human with the naked eye. If you had it like on a petri dish where it was isolated, it'd be like a little speck.
Well, I don't know this, but I guess that kind of makes sense when you look at like caviar as fish eggs, and the fish that they're getting those from are not as big as us.
Yeah.
So, how big is a human egg? Like,
from what I've heard, I think there's a measure on it. They said you could see it, but it's like a tiny little speck on there, but it's.
So I don't know this to be scientifically true, but I've heard that a woman is born with all the eggs she'll ever have already in her body.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Is that true?
I think that's true. And I'm wanting to say it's something like 200,000 to 300,000 eggs or something like that.
You know what? And I'm sure you'll agree with me. Girls go through hell.
Oh yeah,
I would not
so glad
want to be a girl, man. Like, periods just sound like fucking the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And then to do it like every month.
Yeah.
Like I'm a full believer in the guy flu.
Yeah.
Like when I get sick, like everything just needs to come to a stop. Like life sucks. Like you need to just, be cool with me and like don't get mad because like my life is just but like when Keisha gets sick, like she handles it way better.
Oh yeah, yeah. They say women handle pain way better. They have a higher pain tolerance.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, man. I think so too.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. I consider myself like I'm not a pussy.
Yeah.
But like I have a pretty high pain threshold, I think.
Yeah.
And I've been through a handful of situations to where I can say like I react well in an emergency. Like I can kind of remove myself from it and get done what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then afterwards I can have my like freak out moment or whatever.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go through a period. I don't.
Yeah.
I've seen what Keisha goes through, and I don't have that in me.
Yeah. Don't want to deal with it. Yeah.
No, she's tougher than me. And I fully...
And the thing is, and I'm okay with that, too.
Yeah, I am totally comfortable in saying that, like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But more power on you.
Yeah.
Good job. I will bring you my doll and
chocolate.
And chocolate, and I'll rub your feet.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not built that way.
Yeah.
I don't think most guys are. I think guys think they're so hard, that we're just great.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're just kidding ourselves.
Yeah, man, there's a fucking 2-day hangover.
Yeah. Oh.
I think we probably said it before, but it's the truth, man. Hangovers never used to be that bad. They were like a couple hours of discomfort and like
Yeah.
on to the next. But now, man, it's a hangover is like it's an event. Like I got to reschedule meetings and really think about my life choices. When I'm hungover.
Oh man, it's like I saw this. It was a quote. I saw it today actually. It says, I can in my old age I can still party like a rock star. I just can't recover like one.
This is totally fucking true, man. Yeah. Even after our nights in the shed here, like, I can promise you, I'm not waking up early tomorrow.
Oh no.
I am not going to set an alarm, and I don't plan on sleeping until noon. But I'll bet I'm out till between 9 and 10.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll get up about 10 so I can go to work because I'm working swing shift. But I'll sleep until then, until time to go.
Yeah, I'll wake up and
No.
I got a fucking bunch of laundry to do till
Got to start getting everything.
It drives me nuts because men and women have different views of what the word clean means.
Yeah.
So, like, I will clean the house, and to me, it looks great.
Oh yeah.
And I'll go get her from the airport and bring her home. And by minute 20, she's cleaning. And I'm like,
why are you? Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, just like, let's go to bed because we haven't seen each other in 4 fucking months. Like, I want to reacquaint.
Yeah, get some extracurriculars going here.
Yeah, and she'll be like, the stove's dirty. What? You didn't clean underneath the microwave. Like, it's up. Like, it mounts to the bottom of the cupboard. What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean clean under? She's like, there's grease from the stove under there. I'm like, what? You wouldn't know that if you didn't stick your head under there. You don't look for it, and it won't be there.
Yeah.
Like,
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, like, and don't get me wrong, I'll clean that once in a while, but she will clean that shit all the time. Like, she's super...
Yeah.
She's very good about that. She's very organized about that. And that's shit that I don't even think about.
Oh, yeah. That's the way I am. Is like, yeah, if it's good enough to work, it's good enough.
Yeah, like, we're just cut from a different cloth.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm, and I'm not, and I don't want to come off like I'm a dirty person. Like, I'm not, like, I would say I'm cluttered, but I'm not. I'm definitely not a neat freak. Like, I don't Lysol the doorknobs on a regular basis.
No.
And like, I don't know. Like, it's just not me. That's not how I am.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm gonna get out the stainless steel cleaner and do the whole fridge and the dishwasher, and like, I'm gonna put in the effort, and then she's gonna get home Saturday and be like, this place is a pigsty, and I'm gonna be like, where?
Yeah, where?
Fucking where? Yeah, no, she I gotta say though, she's definitely my perfect fit in that whatever she's not good at, I am.
Yeah.
And whatever I'm not good at, she is.
So and that's good, and that's the way it should be. You complement each other. That's the thing. You
Yeah. Well, I compliment her. No, she's great, man. She keeps me in line when I need to be put in line, and she lets me color outside the lines when she doesn't need to do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, are we ready to sign this off? I guess.
I think we need to before the battery dies.
Yeah, not like last week or run out of memory on the phone.
That's happened. we're like batting 3 for 4 now.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. As always, I like to say, drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't make stupid decisions. Have a plan.
And since this episode's about hunting, don't drink and hunt. Wait till after the hunt.
That's literally the worst thing you could do, both from a safety and a respect standpoint.
Exactly. So be safe with your travels. Be safe with your hunting. Get out there, get into nature, and experience nature. Even if you Even if you don't want to hunt, get out there with a camera. Go take some pictures. Just experience nature.
Just go breathe some clean air. Put your phone away. Enjoy the world that's around you instead of the world that is at your fingertip.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you don't hunt, shooting is fun. Guns, bows and arrows, all that stuff. It's a good hobby. It's a fun thing to do. I shoot way more targets than I do living creatures.
Yeah, exactly.
And
there's
it's a great way to spend your time.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
It's a great hobby, and there's plenty of places that you can go find your local range. You can go and you can take classes, get some instruction, and learn about the sport, learn about the subject. Go to the Game and Fish always puts out classes for hunters education and safety.
Just wilderness in general, like edible plants in your area, things like that, which are just, it's a great skill to have and a fun skill to develop.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, it brings you closer to nature, closer to your food, closer
to your family.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys. Be sure and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Like and share. Tell your family about it. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Check out, I don't know where all it's sold.
Go check out Petty Jean down in Morrilton. We will be there at some point. Travis will probably be there before I will.
Oh, yeah. We'll go down there and check it out. Maybe we can do a show from there one day. And
that would be wonderful.
We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you next time. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Be safe.